Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is my ongoing anthology campaign that I call Star Wars Saturdays, even if I run it on a Sunday like today, because branding? Anyway, in Star Wars Saturdays, every month I choose a different RPG system. Sometimes they're repeats of systems that I've run in the past, like this one, Bounty of the Week, which is my loving reskin that's become a hack of Monster of the Week by Evil Hat, created by Michael Sands. In Bounty of the Week, the player characters are bounty hunters a la Mandalorian, or a number of the Clone Wars episodes of the CGI series, or, other Star Wars fiction, because this is all set in Star Wars. The time setting is after Palpatine has fallen down a hole with a bunch of electricity, and then the weapons platform he was on, the Death Star, was blown up, so he's obviously dead forever. But not quite all the way out to the timeline of the Mandalorian TV show on Disney Plus. So somewhere in the middle there. The New Republic is attempting to give freedom and wrest it from the clutches of the Imperial remnants throughout the galaxy. But unfortunately, these bounty hunters are right in the middle of the largest Imperial remnant, known as Zinj's Empire. Zinj is this particularly nasty individual who was a Grand Moff, so devoted to the Empire that he once hunted down his own mother. Way to go, Zinj. And then when Palpatine died, he said he would be the warlord of the Empire, and all the section that he controlled, he locked down pretty well. And you guys are bounty hunters, which means that you're technically legal as long as you're adhering to Imperial edicts. And when you don't, then you get chased by TIE fighters. And we're currently set just outside of the atmosphere of the capital planet of Zinj's Empire, known as Sereno, hovering above Karania City, which is a pretty cyberpunky place controlled by corporations. But, if Zinj ever wants to send in a whole bunch of stormtroopers, he certainly can. This is the third and final session of this Bounty of the Week series. Important just so we're all on the same page, and also because the Bounty of the Week second edition has retirement moves that we'll be rolling at the end. So my plan is to try to carve off like the last 15-20 minutes of our session so that we can resolve those. Before we go around the horn and introduce characters, folks who may have watched the first episode of this June's 2021 series notice that Will was unable to join us last week. He again is unable to join us this week. So I've reached out to the wait list, and we've gotten Stephen, who's in the May series. Very excited to have you with us, Stephen. And then the last bit is that we do have safety tools, very important. We have lines, which means these are lines we don't want to cross. It's fiction that we're not interested in, or content we're not interested in our fiction. And then we have we have veils as well. And veils are things that we're okay if this content exists, but we're not going to shine a light on it. For example, sexual content. If a couple of characters are going to have consensual sex, we just fade to black and maybe hear some like Bish music in the background or something, and we skip ahead. No big deal. And then we also have ask first, which means that this content is possibly okay, but really it's about the approach. So if you are interested in introducing this content, check in with the group as players before we drop it in. The ask first, things like I always put in midichlorians, because some people get a bee in their bonnet about midichlorians. And some people are like, yeah, call it M count and I'm fine. And so just, hey, if you want to talk about a character's midichlorian count, just say, hey, check in. Hey, is it cool if I mention a midichlorian thing here? And if any one person says, yeah, can you maybe do it a different way? Then respect that and do it a different way. Other than that, we also have the X card, which layers on top of that. It trumps anything. It's there in case there was something you didn't realize you need a line or veil on, or it's just bothering you. It's harshing your ability to enjoy, engage, having fun, whatever reason that you need for your safety to say, hey, can we just like stop that thing? You X card. You can say, I need an X, or hey, Rich, I need to X card a thing, drop it in chat, however you need to communicate it. If I don't immediately react to it, and I'm trusting in all the other players to say, hey, Rich, it looks like an X card was played, we'll pause for just a moment. Not going to whole stop unless that is needed, right? Well, we'll make a judgment call, and when we hit it, you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to tell us the story of why you've X carded. But I may ask, just for clarity's sake, what exactly was X card if it's not clear to me. And as I often say, I was public school educated, so sometimes things aren't entirely clear to me. I say this as a child of 2 public school teachers who are now retired because we're all old, but it's fun for me to say that. They never watch these, so they don't know that I say this all the time. Then that is excised. That content is excised. It's gone. And we will come up with a different way. No problem. The last thing I'll say about X card that I always like to slide in, if I can recall, is if you hear something the first time, you're like, ooh, that's a little sketch for me. I'm going to let it ride. And then a few minutes down the road, you're like, okay, this is seriously bothering me. I wish I had X carded right away. Just because you didn't X card right away doesn't mean you can't X card. You can do it at any point, right? You have not obviated the capability to X card just because you let it ride the first time. There was a time when a person used my name as an NPC and I didn't X card it, and then all of a sudden that became a pretty important and not great NPC, and I'm like, oh, man, someone else X carded for me, which I thought was really nice. Thank you. You can see my face. And that's the other thing, is you could also check in with people, right? You don't have to, don't make a big show of it because it can embarrass folks, but we're here for each other to have a good time. That care is worthwhile, I think, and important. There's my spiel. Let's go around the horn and introduce characters. I'm going to start with our extant characters, the ones who've been part of this June story, which means I'm going to start from the far right, heading towards the left, so Stephen will introduce his character last. And then we'll work out the histories between these characters real quickly and jump right back into the moment where we had ended our last session. So, Sawyer, you're up first.
Greetings, I am Ferret, also known as Sawyer. You can find me online at Ferretheim Games if you like Monster Hearts 2 content and with some upcoming Apocalypse World 2nd Edition base content. I am playing Yuka, the Blue Cultivator, an Athorian wronged who was a peaceful gardener in a special greenhouse type of location for Athorians that turned out to be a drug lab for Hut Cartel members. And they decided to burn it all down one day when it became compromised, and she survived. They should probably not.
Thank you so very much, Sawyer. And next up is Danielle.
I'm Danielle, and I am playing Wynn Kessick, who is a rocket skate derby player on Black Orchard, who also likes to bounty hunt and got into that somewhat accidentally and has been enjoying the adventures of that. It has taken the edge off of her rocket skate team being kind of co-opted by the corporation, and yeah, so she is here to basically bounty hunt and hopefully kind of just see what the next adventure is. And she was she was in Jody's former crew and also knew her from just like back home and for a long time. So that's her connection there.
Nice. Thank you, Danielle. Next is Greg.
It's me. Yeah, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Zop Books, who also uses he, him pronouns. Zop is a Rhodian bounty hunter and a member of the Tanwa clan. Last session, the Tanwa clan often tells Zop to do something that's at odds with the team. And last session, he had to kill one of these, actually, both of these gang members, and achieved it quite spectacularly. But may have caused a bit of a ruckus and drawn some Imperial attention by throwing grenades and stuff. So yeah, now we're being pursued by ties. Let me think. Zop is yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Zop's sometimes taking bounties on his fellow bounty hunters too. Done that in a couple of sessions. So
Yep. And then the aforementioned Stephen.
Hi, I'm Steven. My pronouns are he, him. Today I'm playing J0D1, a constructed droid, goes by the name of Jody. Jody is all about droid rights and that kind of thing. Jody gets additional harm that the others don't, but can only repair herself. And, you know, let's see. I already have an existing history with Wynn, which is that Wynn has known me since since she was little. She remembers events before Jody was destroyed and reassembled. Jody has gaps in her memory, and for now, she's been running like on Black Orchard. She's been running like a little school for droids that have been recently freed. Since the Empire doesn't have as much need for droids, she's been freeing as many as she can. She has like a little crew. She has a reprogrammed buzz droid named Val, and she has the other members of her crew is CS-244, a security droid. These were all freed from a facility during the last adventures with Wynn. And CS is very no nonsense and takes everything very literally. Then there's GH-7A, who is a medical droid who is very motherly and very much like the psych or medical person, has a very good bedside manners and goes, ooh, bah, ooh, bah. And then we have a astromech A8 who has been modified so it actually has a repulsor and then 2 arms with the end with digits so it can manipulate things. And A8 thinks it's better than all organics and doesn't have any problem telling people about that. And then finally we have DJ, a pet droid that has the attitude of a Jack Russell that runs into action without thinking and is super sassy.
Indeed. Oh,
Yep. I was going to say I can now talk about history.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm not sure how much we want to do. I wrote down. So of course I just mentioned that Wynn remembers me from before. I wrote down several that were from the playbook, and I wanted to see if anyone is interested. I think that with Yuka, we discussed that Yuka has a history with the Hutts. And many a droid, I've heard from my little group of droids, many horror tales about how they were treated by the cartel. As far as other histories, a hunter is afraid of you. Work out with them why that is. I'm just going to toss out a couple. A hunter makes you a bit suspicious, and a hunter is a good friend. Do any of those feel good to any of you?
The friend
so you
one
would
is-
be yeah. Go ahead, Ferret.
The friend one is the one where they tried to kill you at first, right, or destroy you.
It says your hunter is a good friend. Tell them if it's from way back or recently.
Oh, okay, that's not the one I was looking at. And then I can take that, but if Zop wants it, I am fine.
No, I like a different one, so go for it.
Okay, yeah. Yuka is surprisingly kind for wronged with the grav hammer.
So I think just to keep my tie-in close, I've been keeping tabs with Wynn, and whenever I saw the new crew that Wynn's dropped into, I'm like, oh yeah, this is good, you know. And Yuka specifically, I think I saw your history and some of the escapades that you've gone on, and I'm like, that'll be a good teacher for Wynn. I feel very, you know, I'm a little bit worried that I didn't take Wynn under my own wing, but I had all these other droids to deal with. But Yuka can definitely handle it. How's that? Perfect.
And if you're okay with it, Stephen, I'd love to be the one you're suspicious of. probably for the exact same reasons that you did your research. Yuka's great. Zop is maybe not so great. Which also works because I think we established that Win really kind of looks up to Zop because Zop is obsessed with Rhodian opera and kind of feeds into her show business side.
Yeah,
So,
one of the things that I think when met Zop, he was a consultant / occasional star of Talon's the hunters hunted situation, and so he was a battle consultant on that. And that's probably, which I assume Jody was probably busy, doing real work to star in for.
So what I wrote down of that is that Zop makes you a bit suspicious. He picks his own side, so can't be trusted.
I think that's perfect.
And also true.
Did we want to do any others, or I have a little montage to get in?
Do you have a montage to get in?
Well, basically, I think that the way that this works is I think when at the end of the last session or during part of the last session was like, okay, we need some help, and sent a message, and Jody picked it up. And I think Jody, you see this montage of Jody going around the Black Orchard school facility and, picking her old crew, and it was like, I've got a job, what do you think? And then here's the deal. And they're like, damn it, I'm in. And, Kark, I'm in. And
son of a bitch, I'm in.
That's right. And then I think we hop on like a very bare bones, ship that's like a escape pod, a modified escape pod.
Okay.
And at the very beginning of this session, the escape pod kind of attaches and Jody's crew kind of comes out into the ship, and Jody plops down into the co-pilot seat and says, hey, Win.
Awesome. Yeah. Sweet. So you're in an escape pod. So just to spin us back up, you guys had captured Palisade, the first of your two bounties that you wanted to take here. The easy one, if you recall, friends, the easy one. Palisade Jabot, the Pantoran, who stole a whole bunch of money and pretended to be a rebel sympathizer. It turned out, no, he's just a D-bag. And while capturing him, you got into, there was a big fight because he had hired some heavies. The Imperials were bothered by your shooting up the place, and you guys ran onto the Raptor and flew off, leaving Piranha City behind. But unfortunately, you were pursued by TIE fighters. So the Jody thing, like, are we like inserting Jody having shown up at some point before you guys escape and Jody's on the Raptor? Is that what you were thinking, Stephen? Or...
Yeah, I think it's basically before the rest of the crew came back to the Raptor, right?
Okay.
That's whenever I've dropped in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
because Win actually rode that escape pod back to the Raptor while
right. Okay.
And
cool.
Zop were getting away, and so I think I'm busting on board like, we gotta get out here, assuming just Voryar was there and Jody's in the navigator seat, like, hey. She's like, I'm glad you're here. We're probably gonna be chased on the way out.
Cool. And yeah, the Raptor takes off as an ATST is like aiming, and a couple of shots of glance off the bow, the shield's just barely holding. Who is your pilot of the Raptor in as we begin this bit of mess?
Oh, you muted.
Yeah, I thought Win was.
Okay. So Win is the pilot. Who is the co-pilot?
I am.
All right.
Jody.
Perfect. Just like before. Good. Sweet. So you guys take off the atmosphere. You see the gigantic triangle of a Star Destroyer kind of hovering by, and you glide past, and there's at least a squad of TIE fighters firing at you guys as you're doing the cool kind of rotating around barrel roll action. And yeah, I think it is time to see if you guys are going to be able to survive, or if this is the shortest bounty of the week game we've ever played. I think someone needs to kick some shebs if they are perhaps the gunner.
Well, I had already placed that in chat, so let's see how well this goes.
Fantastic.
Doot. It went well. That was a 9.
Ooh, a 9 is interesting. It means you guys are going to swap harm. And then let's see, yeah, 7 plus, you guys swap harm. So the amount of harm that the raptor does is, let me double check if I thought I stuck the stats in there, but let me make sure. Bridge of pilot, attack. I'm checking out the tab with the raptor information. I thought that I had stuck backup sublight.
Oh, there's a turbo laser for 2 harm close.
There you go. That is the turbo laser for. Thank you. I'm gonna bold that because I looked over it 3 times, going up and down, up and down. Just as a note, there is also item 14, a gravity mine dispenser. It is used to cover the bridge module escape, but I just wanted to point out that's a thing because I know how much you guys like, mines and explosions. So there you go. Yeah, so the medium turbo lasers fire out, and you're able to take out one of the TIE fighters as another one strays past. And when the ship is rocked, the shields are still holding, but it's enough to cause a jiggling, as it were. What is it that when you'd like to listen? TIE fighters do hit things from time to time. I'm just saying, they do. And these guys were trained by the warlord of the Empire. He he's good at this or something. That's it. I'm saying it happened. So, what is it that you'd like to accomplish here? Are you just trying to find a way clear to jump into hyperspace? Are you? What do you want to do?
Because we want to stay near Sereno so that we can go back to the city, right? I think she just wants to lose them somehow, and I don't know if there's anything like, people always navigate into conveniently placed asteroid belts, right nearby, but I wonder if there's some kind of something that she can either, or like other ships that she can aim at, like, well, we just need to fly right past these frigates that are shipping, so
I think you're trying to read a bad situation. It sounds like to me.
Probably. Yes. Part of me wanted to activate oops during this. Find something interesting.
If you want to stumble across something important, tell the keeper. You'll find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to your immediate problem. So you can do one or the other. Yeah. You can read a bad sitch or tell me you want to oops. And
I think I'll read a bad situation.
Okay, cool.
So that's plus sharp. All right. Hey, I'm weirdly prescient.
Wow, at 11, phantasmagoric. So on read a bad sitch on a 10 plus, you get to hold 3. The questions are on the basic moves tab around row 72.
All right, what is my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? And what's the best way to protect my stuff / people all on this ship?
All right. So your best way out, the absolute best way out, is to get clear and go into hyperspace. You know that. Sticking around here is going to increase the danger level. That said, you do, looking around for, is there a convenient asteroid field around here? You don't find one of those. However, there is a very busy space station with lots of ships flying in and out. It would be very dangerous, but if you were to navigate through and around that space station, the chances of the TIE Fighter Squadron being able to easily follow you will be very low. Are there any dangers you haven't noticed? You notice that there's a huge power fluctuation from that Star Destroyer. and you do know that they do have tractor beams on such ships. So you should be well aware that while evidently you're too close to the planet for them to bring their turbo lasers online and fire on you, they plan on just using a tractor beam to capture the Raptor so that they don't have to, fire on you, that kind of thing. And then the best way to protect your stuff and people with your current trajectory, if we want to stay here, stay near Corania City, the best way to protect them is to use that space station to your advantage, which I'm sorry, that's like one answer for two questions. So okay.
Because one meant, because the first answer was this one is actually safer and that one is really super dangerous. And then this one is like, but it may be the best option.
Maybe your best option. Now, the good news is you get a +1 acting on any of that information. So,
okay,
may I make
cool.
a suggestion?
Sure.
Yeah.
So if you're headed towards the space station to stay here next to Corellia, one option would be, we've got that leftover like janky escape pod that I came in. If you have some fancy flying, we could drop that escape pod or punch it, drop it at the right point and see if we could hit a tie with it. And then if you remember, I've modified the Raptor's transponder. So I'll turn that off. As long as you've got cover, they'll think it was the Raptor, that the tie hit the Raptor. Right?
Wow.
So if you want to do something like that, that's super fancy, but I might need Zop's help you're the mechanic, right?
Yep.
So we might be able to fool them into thinking that we got blown up, and then they won't be looking for us anymore.
Yeah. I think Wynn scans outside and then looks at Jody like, I think we're aiming to lose them over the space station, but if you've got a cool, you look, I think she notices from the tilt in Jody's like head and the way she's poised, she's like, it looks like you have an idea, so let's roll with it.
Jody wasn't even buckled into her seat, so yeah, you guys, I imagine that like Jody is heading back to grab Zop out of the engine room.
Yeah.
Well, this is fortuitous because Zop was already planning on scrambling the transponder. So, but throwing it into the escape pod works for Zop as well. But I've got, and I imagine that you probably come across Zop and A8 having an argument because A8 is probably convinced that they can remove the transponder better than Zop, and Zop is not having any of that. So there's like parts all over the floor, and Zop is like gesturing at the droid with one of the spanners.
And I think as the camera zooms in, you reach out for a spanner and it's not where you set it down. And you look, and down the corridor, DJ, the little pit droid, has picked it up and is running down the hallway, with this spanner in his hands.
Yeah, and I guess this is used tech to get this transponder out. Okay,
I think it is.
Let's see.
Jody, another thing, as you were walking through, there's a you see Voriara is putting on a vac suit because Yuka took over the turrets, and so Voriara is like quickly putting on a vac suit right now as the ship is like rocking, and she keeps grabbing onto a handle, then throwing on more of a vac suit. Do you head back, and Zop is trying to pull the transponder beacon? Let's see how this goes.
Oh, you're on mute.
You are muted, Greg.
I was just saying that there's a lot of people on this ship.
There is. It is crowded. It's a big ship. Yes.
It's a cramped ship, though. All right. Here we go. Oh, just barely. That's a 7. Let's see.
Would you like to call for aid?
I would love to call for aid. Let's see. I mean, is that technically Jody helping through the crew?
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
you just have to admit that A8 knows a little bit about what they're doing, right?
I'm not sure I want to call for aid now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with A8 like actually showing Zop something. Zop may never mention it again, but
And what would I roll for that? Is that
You describe how you're helping,
Okay.
and then we adjudicate what's the right stat for it.
yeah? So I think, of course, this is going to be use tech very similar.
Yeah,
right.
So
Totally
So,
makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that let's see what I roll first. So I rolled an 8 plus 1 is a 9.
Okay, that means
So-
you're involved in the mess, but you do push up a level for Zop's roll, which means you have a 10 plus on.
And I think the way this looks with Zop is with A8 is basically you're doing something and A8 reaches out and fixes something in the transponder so that it will work correctly and we can turn it off remotely whenever. Well, the thing's going to get exploded anyway, so it's fine. But if we do it right, but I think that A8 didn't know about something that you had modified on the transponder, and you catch it like right at the last moment. Right, Zop?
yeah, okay. Because it's probably not the first time it's been scrambled. So yeah. It's usually used to inspect transponders, and Zop is, yes. So yeah, and there's probably just like a little back and forth with us in the hallway outside the while Yuka's shooting and we were getting hit by TIE Fighter. Yeah. And then we throw it into the escape pod and hit that big red button, right?
Oh, and I think A8 comes out of the escape pod with the escape pod's transponder, right? And it's much smaller.
Now we're in escape pod. Great. So I'm choosing for my effect. I mean, I guess this is really, we're just agreed to do communicate with something that you do not share language with.
Sure. And the good news is you don't have to choose a glitch. So that by the 10 plus, it just works. Cool. You have now swapped out the transponder codes. The raptor is now an escape pod. The escape pod is a raptor. The king is a queen. The queen is a spy. Brief pause. See if anybody got that. That's fine. All right. So go look that up later. Anyway, when I think you have got some fancy flying to do here. It seems like the best stat for that is probably going to be acting under pressure here.
And I didn't take that point of cool because I put it in the X drives instead. That's great.
Everyone suffers because Wynn is fascinated with getting her drive, guys.
I hope it doesn't kill us all.
Yay! What could go wrong apply here?
Are we charging into danger without thinking?
You're flying at a space station.
True, as opposed to not. Yeah.
You're hearing over the comms, unidentified ship, you are on a collision course with the space station. Please divert course.
Yeah, I think she doesn't hit the button to respond because she knows that that's wrong. She's like, sorry guys, just sneaking by you here, and keeps, hits the gas further as she's like turning and is turning back to yell like, is that ready to go yet? Like, you guys hit, I'll let you know when we pass it, and then you hit the button to drop it. So yeah, flying straight into it, I will immediately spend that to take this on act under pressure.
And you're acting on the thing, so you got a total of +3 on this roll.
Oh, well, that would have been a 14, I guess.
Wow, that's amazing. Who expected you to be so good at this? Not me, but I'm still impressed. 10 plus, you do what you set out to do. So the raptor barrel rolling a couple more times. We cut to the deck of the main control deck of the Star Destroyer, as there's one very dickish looking Imperial who has his arms clasped behind his back as he casually says, use the tractor beam to take care of that ship. And one of the guys down in the area that's working and looking at it, he says, but sir, it's too close to the space station, and the TIE fighters are on the course as well. Do what I say. And so you veer past, and all of a sudden the tractor beam catches like 3 TIE fighters and starts to pull the space station forward, just a tug, just a little bit, like pop onto the space station. There's like people in the promenade and everything starts to shake. And there's one astromech that does the R2D2 scream, and a Rhodian falls to the ground, and all these like cakes just fluttered to the ground. There's credits that fall off of the sabacc table. Yuka, when the Raptor pulls off, you've got just pot shots at 3 TIE fighters. Do you take it?
I don't know the plan, so yes, I will.
Nice. What does it look like? What do we see from Yuka in that turret?
I think Yuka is slowly lining it up, and then sees the tractor beam and starts waiting perfectly until like all 3 TIE fighters are lined up like in a straight line, and then fires.
Nice. Oh, that is wicked. I love it. Boom, it's just like boom, boom, boom. The 3 TIE fighters go off in sequence, and then Zop and Jody, what do we see with you guys in this escape pod?
So the escape pod has been jettisoned, or is it not yet? Is this
that's just like you just jettison the.
Yeah, I think you hear the go sign from over the intercom. Like, okay.
Zop hits it. The escape pod shoots out the back, and it like goes through the exploding TIE fighters, right? And maybe it gets clipped by one and starts to spiral itself and explodes. But the transponder signal is still blinking out there in the area right outside this poor space station.
Nice. The Raptor has to like duck down. I'm kind of imagining that the space station itself has like this large ring that rotates to give it false gravity, right? And so you have to kind of dip down through the spoke of the wheel, and then you end up kind of bumping a shuttle that like slightly goes off course, and everybody on board the shuttle is like, hold on, and they start spinning a little bit. It's very expansive. Sorry. And then when you pull off this maneuver, is this a thing where you like kind of stop on the try to pull a 180 on the other side of the space station once you're out of visual range, or do you just keep going and hope to kind of loop around Sereno and use that to mask your escape?
I think that she probably because like looping around and kind of hanging out behind one of those rings while everything calms down seems good, but with the explosions happening, I think that'll probably mask us enough to kind of keep going and just sort of like go around the other side of Sereno and sort of hang out.
Nice. We spin
Seems
back
better
to back to the deck of the Star Destroyer as that guy calls out, we received the transponder codes. It appears that ship has been destroyed, sir. And the Imperial captain says, of course it was. And then we cut back to you guys. You appear to have gotten out, and as you guys are skimming along Sereno, getting away, leaving the space station far behind, when you get a notification, one of the lights is blinking, someone is trying to access one of the hatches, like normal hatches, like airlock hatch.
Like trying to come, trying to leave the ship? Is that
yes?
Like that?
Yeah,
okay.
and it's airlock, so it's like a two-phase thing, right? There's a central door for everything. The first door, the interior door, is the one that somebody's trying to access right now. What do you do?
I think she is like, are you guys okay? Like she assumes that they're still back there kind of like messing around. Like, did you guys leave it? It's fine. And then I think probably is there an autopilot thing that she can hit to go like investigate it? Because
Sure.
otherwise she just let them. So yeah, she's like, all
So
right,
even better than
that's
an
not good.
autopilot, there's DJ. DJ can
Oh.
fly.
Of course. I think she carefully puts it on autopilot and then is like, DJ, I need you to fly this and be very careful. Okay. She does it.
DJ clambers up the seat as you exit and sits down, grabs the joystick.
Yeah. But there has to be like a child safety switch that she can hit that's like
DJ thinks is flying. He's flying, but he's not flying.
Exactly. Like, you can totally fly, DJ. Awesome. And then she goes back to kind of figure out if the how everything went down out there, but goes to kind of look at this hatch. Like, what's going on?
So you head down the main area. I'm trying to pull up my Raptor deal. Let's see. It would be, where would that be? Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, sorry, Rich is trying to refamiliarize himself with, let me see, 16, 17, kitchen auto chef. Where are the exits? Airlocks. Huh. I know they are there. Well, you head down the main hall past the little lounge, sanctuary lounge, and it appears that, yeah, that would have been somewhere near one of the 2 engine rooms. So you hustle down and you see that Voriara is fully in a vac suit, and she's trying to, like, she's pulled the panel off and is trying to make the airlock open up when you come upon her. What do you do?
Whoa, Voriara, I know it was a bumpy ride. Sorry, we didn't really get a chance to get all strapped in, but I think it's good now. Like, I think we lost him.
And when you get her attention, you see she's covered in sweat, and it looks like she might be in the middle of something like a panic attack.
Okay.
What do you do when she sees you, but you get the feeling of like she doesn't see you, and she's just trying to get off the ship?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I think can I use the power of heart to assist somebody in fighting the enemy of a panic attack?
Oh, that's awesome. That is the perfect use of the power of heart. I love it.
So I think she's like, oh, hey, you know what? I think she reaches into her pocket and she pulls out her pack of chew stim that she normally has on you and is like, do you want some of this? You want to share some? She's like, I can't give it to you when you're all sealed up. And wants her to kind of like get the vac suit off so she can take like some actual deep breaths and maybe share some chewing gum. She's like, why don't we just sit here and like, I'll get the door open in a second, but like why don't we just chill for a second? Is that okay?
You talk to her and you're talking about like taking off the helmet, and it seems to get through that fog of everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. And she just mechanically reaches up and you hear the clink of the metal from her fingers on the side of the glass as she pops and pulls the vac suit helmet off, and the fog and the sweat on the interior of the globe of the helmet. What? Where?
You want some chew stim?
She reaches out with her cyber arm and takes a piece, and then just kind of collapses onto her butt and on the deck and just puts it in her.
Wynn sits down next to her, like there, and sort of pops her feet up, looks very relaxed. Like, yeah, that was a hell of a ride, man. Like, Talon knew how to pilot this thing. I'm still new, and like I wasn't sure that was gonna go so well. So like, taking 5 and breathing sounds really great right about now. She's like, I'm sorry you didn't get the intercom is so spotty. We didn't get a chance to let you know what was going on, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I caused some trouble, didn't I?
No. It would have been more trouble for me if you were floating in space. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you didn't cause any trouble. In fact, you helped us secure the palisade, and we wouldn't have been able to do that without you. I mean, I guess we could have, but then I don't know. Like being a bounty hunter is great, but then you just kind of have to hunt everybody, and I don't like hunting real rebels if they're good people, which I know does not line up with that. She says, like, knowing Boreara's history with them, but yeah. It was less bad because you were there. But you didn't sign up for a sudden roller coaster ride through Imperial territory, being chased by
Yeah,
imps. So
Yeah, but thanks. I'm okay. I'm okay. You don't have to
cool.
baby me, When it's good. She reaches over and kind of pats your knee. I'm okay. It was just a minute. It just it passed. I'm fine.
Yeah. Can we drop you anywhere in particular? Or do you want to take the tick? Is the tick connected to the ship somehow, or is it?
Nah.
Okay.
It's just if you head back to Karani City, I stashed the tick. I don't have to go
Okay.
right away, but I'll need to get back at some point. I really like that ship.
You pilot it really well. It'll be a bummer when we're competition. And you're also a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
Yuka appear at that moment?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Yuka's coming out of the gun, the turret place, and then he sees Win doing the finger guns. Win your competition, and like sees Voriara. Like, oh, my companion from the Derby. You wish to become a bounty hunter.
Yeah, I think I do. I'm not really good at much else.
I will throw my weight behind you if Win thinks you are a good candidate.
Thanks. I'm still working on getting the credits. Application fees, not small.
Oh, really? Well, I'll see about helping you out with that after this is done.
Why are you being so nice to me? You don't even know me. You might not like me.
I liked you at the Derby. Until you prove to me that I do not like you, I will treat you as if you are a great person.
Looks over at Win like, is this real?
She's like, actually, Yuka is the best at making friends, as long as you stay on the right side of the grav hammer. But there's a broad side on the right side of it.
Okay. Then thanks.
And Yuka will like offer a hand for the I think offer both her hands, one to Win, one to Voriara to help get them.
Yeah.
further
Voriara
along.
takes your hand.
Yeah.
Let you help her up.
And I
She's
think Win's
heavy. Win.
I think Win is like, I saw that the suitcases were strapped down. That's great. The barrel roll did it not disrupt anything, hopefully, plant wise.
You are an excellent navigator, Win. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Let's cut to Jody and Zop. You guys pulled off your little plan. What do you do?
I think Jody comes back into the engineering section as there's a little bit of an argument between A8 and Zop, and A8 is beeping along, and I'm like, Jody's like, now to be polite. I mean, we're guests on this ship, and but I know he couldn't have done it without you, but it's not polite to point that out.
Zap, I think, is like begrudgingly accepts that yes, A8 helped. Zap doesn't have a problem with droids, just a problem with a droid thinking it's really anyone thinking they're better than Zop. Yeah, and I think Zop is probably trying to get A8 and Jody out of the engineering because that's where Zop lives. It's his house, and he probably wants to make contact with the sect because we're going on another hunt. But yeah, so Jody, it was a well fought. We have seemed to have dodged the Imperials. I apologize, but I make my home here in the engineering room, and I think I need my space.
Oh, okay. No problem. And I think Jody will kind of herd A8 and then with a nonchalant hand reach out and like grab DJ by the neck. And DJ was like grabbing something and he kind of kicks a little bit and she walks off into the hallway and probably goes back to where the mess hall is. And I imagine that the medical droid is in the mess hall kind of, this needs to be more healthy and tries to make some food. And yeah.
I'm curious, does Jody try to eavesdrop a bit on Zop's contact with his sect because you don't trust Zop?
I think so I think what actually happens is one of the crew, let's see, who is it? It's CS-244, the security droid, feels more comfortable and stands outside the engineering room like he's on guard so no one else can get in. Because you said this was kind of where you stayed. This is your house.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he takes things very literally. So I think he's just going to stand guard out there. Yeah. And if he overhears something or something like that, then that would be beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think,
Should we hit that?
Yeah, sure. Zop is he's playing Rhodian opera music in the engine room, but it's a security droid. They probably have really good sensors. So Mercogenics probably doesn't work on
isolate that sound. Filter.
Yes. Enhance. All right. So this is when I'm in good standing with the check at the beginning of a hunt, and I believe this is the beginning of our hunt for Udolf. I will roll plus charm, which I'm great at. I'm just the best. Always good at it. Here we go. 5. Perfect. On a miss, they asked me to do something bad. Ooh,
man.
If I fail, I will be in trouble with the sect until I atone. I don't want to think about what atoning to the Tanwa clan means.
Oh man, this is okay. First thing that popped in my head is pretty bad. So let me check in. This definitely sets Zop against several of the player characters. So please think about this before you go, yeah, that's a terrible mess, because I can think of other stuff. That's just the first instinct was that the Tanwa clan has beef with Voriara, and they want you to take her out. Too much?
I think
I have an idea, if you may.
Okay.
We're going after Udolf Kibregan, correct?
Correct.
They want her alive. We don't.
Oh snap! That's way better. I'm into that.
Yeah, I like that. I like it when it's tied to the hunt, right?
Yep.
I mean, the other one was a little tangential, but they were hired as security, right? So, yeah. No, I like that.
Okay, cool. I agree.
They have
that's
desire for Udolf alive. That's not great.
It's going to cost everybody some money there. Nice.
And I think whenever you hear all of that and everything, out the door you hear a muffled "understood" from the security droid.
Oh no. Yeah, so Zop is he talks to Utri and Utri. This will complicate things.
It does. But that's why we have so much faith in you, Zop.
We will speak later about your desire for a Sith holocron. And then he just closes the
They would like phaser out to Utri, who says, "Oh no, we will not." Of course, he's talking to Air,
Yes.
but that's him asserting, "Oh no, you're full of crap. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff." That's good. Good. Thank you for that suggestion, because I was like, I got to say this out loud so that people can come up with better ideas, because that was my first. Awesome. Let's move on. Do we want to do a star wipe to you guys back on Karania City and infiltrating the underworld? That sounds fun. Sweet. So we'll pick up with, let's see. Oh, yes, here we go. We'll pick up at the Moondust Club. The Moondust Club is located in Karania City in just off of Neon Quarter. And Moondust Club also has a small set of sabacc tables, but it's primarily a bit of a nightclub with live entertainment, and there's a lot of synth music that's playing in the background. There's people dancing, lots of lights, lots of different. This is a very cosmopolitan area, so lots of different species intermingling. It's a good place to get information, potentially to get some kind of lead or figure something out. Droids are even allowed here, Jody. So do you have your whole crew?
No, I think I have Val and probably CS244, but I don't. DJ causes too much trouble.
Okay,
And
so
he would
DJ,
love the dance floor.
so you didn't invite DJ.
That's correct. I didn't invite DJ, but boy, he could have snuck up with, he could have snuck along with CS244 or something, and I don't know. So you're welcome to a hard move if you want.
Yes, it appears that Zop will attempt to capture the quarry live. It's, of course, what CS is informing you, Jody, as you guys are walking into the club behind the others. Wynn, do you have your rocket skates on? Or with you?
I think that she always pretty much wears, they look like heavy boots when it's not activated.
Oh, sweet.
And
Like the
I
little
think-
pop down rollies.
Yeah. And so she does have shoes that she wears when she's not wearing them, but I think when they're on a hunt, she's always wearing what look like pretty heavy boots, and she can always hit a button to kind of activate them.
That's dope. And Yuka, are you still pulling along your
My multi-purpose suitcase, yes.
multi-purpose suitcase? Yeah. Wheelies. That's so great.
And obviously her like slightly shimmery armor jacket that now has no branding on it whatsoever.
Nope. Still armored, but no branding because you're doing dirty stuff.
So Yuka, tell me more about this suitcase. Does it contain stuff for you and that kind of thing?
Yuka's main drive is to repopulate the plants that the Hutts killed, and she keeps a lot of their cuttings and saplings in her suitcase, along with a grav hammer and an auto carbine.
So I think that's probably why DJ's here. Is DJ is carrying the suitcase for you, right? In that typical, it's too heavy for pit droids, but I'll do it anyway.
Wow. Does Yuka let DJ do that, or did DJ just volunteer?
It's very padded. I think the suitcase is very set. Like, so if he wants to, this is cute.
Fun. All right. Sweet. So you guys enter this club. You're looking for leads for Udolph. We have a couple of options. You can look to, pay for some information if somebody wants to pay a bounty. If somebody has any bounty, which I think you guys spend it as soon as you get it. You, of course, can easily get some information. You can engage with a few moves, or get creative, I guess, is another option for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have kind of gang friends. I think that you guys made some gang contacts on here.
Yuka made gang friends. Zop made gang enemies. So
Zop killed gang friends. Zop destroyed the sick boys. They're now wiped out. I did strike out on the sick boys in our gangs. They are no more. The last two members taken out by Zop.
Do I see anyone that looks affiliated with the Razor Girls?
course you see a razor girl or two. You know what to look for. So while you have not met Queen Requiem or Belle, you do see the telltale marks of the razor girls from tats that they have either on upper chest or side of their neck. You can see the pictures in Karania City cast, row 42 for Queen Requiem, who is has a pair of very prominent looking lip rings, huge red lips, and she's very presentational, like platform boots, synth leather and feathers, and she's probably like dancing, but more like being presented on the dance floor. And you also catch sight at the bar is Belle, another member of the Razor Girls, who has across the side of her cheek like a few ritualized scars and a number of tats. She looks a lot harder, whereas Queen Requiem, here to have fun, here to be seen.
Yeah, I think Yuka asks DJ to put the suitcase down, opens one container, looks over at Queen Requiem, puts one plant back, pulls out another, takes a little bit out, pulls out one of the papers, rolls up a cigarette.
Like fiddling with some of the little jars in there, looking at things with his one eye, shaking it a little bit, putting it back.
I think it's like as soon as he starts shaking one, she'll reach over, like stop him. Like doesn't hurt him or anything. Just like holds his hand, like makes him put it back, then hands him a jar he can shake.
Takes that jar, shakes it, rattles it by the side of his ear, puts it back. Yeah.
Then Yuka will stride up to Queen Requiem and how's the best way to do this? I think she'll just try to be smooth. Is anyone important dancing with you right now?
Ooh, interesting. Now, with her platform boots and just her general stature, Queen Requiem is taller than most anyone else on the floor. You being an Thorian are actually taller than she is. So when you come forward and she has these like pair of horns that kind of protrude out from her headdress, and her hands, she moves them about the crowd, and she's kind of boogieing with the music. And you come up and you ask, is she dancing with anyone? She says, I'm dancing with everyone.
Oh, so does that mean it's an open invitation, or should I ask to make your acquaintance?
You should ask, of course, darling.
And Yuka will, I think, scrunch just a bit to be shorter than Queen Requiem, like a kind of a bow, hold out the cigarette, and my typical tribute to the Razor Girls. But I am Yuka the Blue Cultivator, and realize that you are no regular Razor Girl.
Her smile is so bright beneath the dark red of her painted lips, and she takes the cigarette from you and like holds it with a modicum of respect. Like, this is, maybe she's heard about this. Maybe this is a thing that, like, hey, did you hear? Like, we met this crazy Ithorian. But she takes that and she holds it. She looks at it and she says, "It is a pleasure to meet you, cultivator. I am Queen Requiem of the Razor Girls. They're my girls." She puts a hand on your shoulder and just like smooths it. She's very touchy-feely. Like, she's got strong hands and just kind of grips your shoulder. There's a little pleasure that comes from that. What brings you to Karania City with such fine gifts?
Something I think you will know very much about. And I think Yuka's like slowly beginning to kind of like a scene kid, just like the waving back and forth, like a
nice.
And what brings me here is art. The art of the bounty hunting. The art of the bounty hunt, sorry.
I've never had a hunter call it an art that I knew.
That's because most bounty hunters are not artistic at all. They're clumsy, callous, and brutish. I make this look good. Not as good as you.
I've never hounded a bounty before, babe.
Wait, could you repeat that?
I've never hunted a bounty before, babe. You don't know.
Oh, I believe you and your girls have much more important things to do. Though a little bit of help would be very much appreciated. And she'll, I think she'll bring up the hologram of let me check out that the Bragan.
Okay, cool. Why don't you investigate a quarry? You're doing that through conversing with Queen Requiem.
That makes sense. Let's hope the dice are friendly again.
Let's see.
Oh, they are. That's a 10.
Nice. So with a 10 on investigate a quarry, you get to hold 2. You can ask those questions as you wish.
Oh, I think I need to ask Queen Requiem the first question. What can hurt her? Not Queen Requiem, but Keep Requiem.
Of course, yes. I know. We're on the same page. And Queen Requiem considers what could hurt little Udolph Keepregan. She values the loyalty of her people. Her gangs that she controls, we don't truck with them, not at all. But if they were to suspect that she was double dealing, their loyalty would go far away. She pays them in trust, and they pay back. If you get my drift.
Yes. And, And I guess, yeah, how is this thing doing this in the respect of how did she get the trust of these gangs?
Ooh, nice. You see, Udolph has been around for a number of years. She collects all the strays. She'd made a play for the sick boys before some Rhodian took out the last of them, but any of the strays, she shows them a bit of kindness, pulls them under her wing, forms them into her little army. It's not a bad idea, but never understood exactly how she gets all of their different loyalties quite so easily.
Probably something underhanded, but I'd rather, now that business is done, shall we focus on pleasure? And she holds out like a lighter for the cigarette she had offered.
She laces the cigarette, leans, kind of hand still on your shoulder, and leans forward for you to light it.
Yeah, and I think this is to switch the spotlight. This is when Yuka begins dancing and the smoke trails around them and all that stuff.
Nice. I love it. Let's jump over to Zop. What is Zop doing as you see Yuka's in the middle of the dance floor? We haven't seen where Win or Jody went yet, but I'm curious what Zop's doing.
I think Zop is trying to secure a little more assistance from the Tanwa clan with this sub-assignment. And I'm really torn between whether Block Doc or Pilfer are secretly members of the Tanwa clan.
Oh, God. Those are both terrible, awesome answers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Block Doc. is who Zop has made contact with and I think there's just like an exchange that Zop knows of the Block Doc. Maybe their services are used by the clan on occasion, and Zop will just like sit down next to him at the bar and passes a drink.
Oh man, and yeah, he's at the bar, but he's got attending him one of his, former patients, who is a person that appears to have Leku, but upon close inspection, you realize they weren't born with those Leku.
Oh no. Gross. And Zop, I've come because I have a business with the Tanwa clan.
The block doc with his like impressive jaw, like mannish jaw that looks a little like clay, like peers around, looks at you, and he's got these huge cheeks that have just been, there's obviously implants in those cheeks to make them much more prominent. You've come crawling back to Karania City, Zop. I know your reputation.
Yes, Black Duck. Crawling back, as you say. I think I took care of some clan business. And I'm at a bit of an impasse. I think I need some assistance. My fellow hunters are going to be a bit at odds with me on this next one.
Are they now causing trouble? One job more important than the other. He reaches his hand to the back of the not exactly Twi'lek, and the Leku, like a tentacle, just kind of wraps around his arm. What are you willing to offer me, or are you just calling upon the loyalty of the clan?
Loyalty is everything, Block Doc. You know that. I have a lot more pull with the clan than you do. So...
That what you're telling yourself now? Just because you murdered a couple of sick boys, you think you're higher up on the totem pole than I? Oh, see, you think you're important because you know what you've done, but you don't know what I've done for the clan.
I think this is a good time to roll to see
if
I
let's
actually
roll.
have more
let's
pull.
do that.
All right. Because I would love to put the Block Doc in his place, but...
I want you to put the Block Doc in his place.
Oh, that's a 2.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I've got nothing.
Nothing.
Can anyone help?
You have to call for aid, though.
I would
and
have
then
to
they're
call
going to
for
know what you're
aid.
doing. Oh,
yeah.
Please share with me if you want to call for aid, my friend.
Oh, I mean, what do I even get? 7 to 9, I get 1 hold.
Yeah.
No, I'm into it. Give me the hard move.
On a miss, you get bad information, and the keeper decides how that affects you. Yeah. Here's what the Block Duck says. Zop, I respect your ability to stab people in the back. I do. It's very useful for lower level members, the lower enemies of the clan. But you see, they don't trust you enough to tell you what I'm going to tell you. Udol's made a deal with the clan. She wants off of Karania City because it's getting too hot. The New Republic breathing down the neck of the warlord. She's going to pull a fast one, and you have to keep her alive so that she can live to do so. You're just part of a little escape plan for Udolth Keebragan. Nothing more than one of the Tanwa clan's pawns. Now, what are you going to do with that information, my Rhodian friend?
Zop just gestures and drops the drink that he gave into the Block Duck's lap and walks away.
Then he turns and like leans into the not Twillick, and there we go. Win. This is some bumping
Yeah.
grooves, like some really cool music. You see up on a few of the hollow screens, they're showing some sports. There's actually like a really awesome rocket skate arena match that's going on that's here on Karania City.
Oh man. This is
Yeah.
she's like enjoying herself. I assume that like whatever DJ they have playing is someone who like they play their music during some of their matches or in between, but they're actually here playing it, you know, on whatever tinny speakers we have set up on Black Orchard. But so she is definitely I think going over, wants to like get a drink and then kind of like mingle and go to the screens, like briefly distracted that like I need to find something. But I wonder if in the middle of that I could do an oops.
Sure, you certainly
Yeah.
could. You could do an
Yeah.
oops. Why
Yes.
not? Yeah, you head over the Karania City Crazy Skates are taking on the Skate Arena Skulls, which is evidently like some local group of like non-affiliated rocket skate arenas. And it's kind of like watching a Globetrotters game where the Skate Arena Skulls are the whatever schmuck team, and they're just rolling over top, just like spinning around, and their jammer is incredible. But it's pretty impressive to watch. Like they're doing these crazy tricks, and so yeah,
wow.
you oops, and you want to stumble across something important, and so you'll find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to your immediate problems. And yeah, I think that you end up grabbing a seat by this purple skin Kashiri species. They're humanoid. They look just like humans, but with purple skin. And she's got a overall kind of synth leather outfit, wearing a Han Solo vest type deal. And you see that she's got a patch on the vest for Yin Corp, which is one of the major corps here, the Yin group. They're kind of like Space Uber. So you've probably
Okay.
received packages from Yin Group on Black Orchard in the past. And she looks over as you're enjoying and she seems to be enjoying it as well. She's moving a little bit to the music, and she says, pretty great, right? I mean, not real competition, but fun to watch.
Yeah, they're man. I have a team back home, but gosh, if we could get to this level, that would be so cool. They're pretty cool. But hey, you know about going fast, right? And then she kind of like gesticulates at her patch.
And she kind of, shows off the Yin Group patch. She says, yeah. Hey, you've got a team? Where are you at?
Oh, we're on Black Orchard, the Larce Legion. The name's a work in progress.
Yeah, that's not fun. You need something more fun, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Like she slams her drink down and in a gesticulation. She's like, I think that I'm working on it so we can be the Black Orchard Bruisers. Cause like
Way
it's better,
better.
right?
Way
Yeah,
better. Oh, I love it.
exactly.
Hey, I'm Joji. What's your name?
Joji, I'm Winnie Kessick. Win.
Win. Oh, all you do is win, right? She
Of course.
takes a drink from her synth. She says, "Yeah, I've got a run that I'm building up. Probably gonna be heading Black Orchard way."
Oh, really? You should
Yeah.
stop by. Hopefully we got a match coming up soon. You can see. Dewey, I guess, people are in and out all the time. So big shipment.
No, not so big. Not so big. It's yeah. She looks around, says, It's just for one guy."
Is she kind of leans in and she's like, I hope it's not more branded gear for us.
And she smiles. No, nothing like that. Just a mail run. Some guy named Jordan. I should lie right now and tell you I haven't read it. Right?
She's like, yeah, but I won't tell anyone. That Jordan, yeah, I know. He's he's getting interesting mail. I can't imagine it would be interesting knowing him.
Oh, it seems like he's getting some older communication from his sister. He seems to be sending her like every credit that he makes.
Oh wow. That's I didn't peg him for a upstanding family guy. Wow.
Oh, sounds like she really appreciates it.
Oh man. Now I'm gonna have to be nice to him. Listen, you Jojo, you're just ruining my time on Black Orchard here. And she
Sorry.
just-
Yeah,
I
Lily
think she.
Lily Shatterstar, that's her name. She's over on
Aw,
Ragus 3. Looks like her
wow.
bar's not doing so hot, and so he's trying to prop her up.
Oh man. Oh, she runs a bar. That's interesting. We we lost a cantina. We can't seem to keep cantinas on Black Orchard very long. They always end up getting shot up, but we are drinking intense right now. I wonder if she'd be open to relocation.
She definitely wants off that rock, but she doesn't say as much. Just real good at reading between the lines of other people's mail.
That is, wow. So you get mail, if I get a letter delivered from the Yen group, I will know that you're already up on it. You do mail runs often?
Yeah, from time to time. I like to get out. It lets me, skate out of Karania City. Skate, you like it?
Okay,
I did a thing.
exactly.
I did a thing. She smiled.
Yeah, I think Wynn kind of toasts her and buys her another drink of whatever she's drinking. She's like, you wanna top up?
Oh yeah, Netrigal, please. Thank you.
Awesome. And she orders another round for them.
Cool. Awesome. Cut away there. I'm checking in with Jody, who we haven't seen what Jody's been up to other than, DJ doing stuff.
So yeah, I think Jody comes in and walks up to the bar, and whenever she's going to stick real close to Zop, but kind of nonchalantly. So Zop goes up and talks to the block doc, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jody, kind of comes around the corner, and then whenever she sees the block doc's companion who has like the fake Leku, she kind of gets Val over and puts the Val around her shoulders like we saw, in the last series, and starts talking to the block doc's companion with the fake Leku.
Nice.
Yeah. Just to kind of practice things out. Yep.
Nice. Yeah. So the Not Twillick is very like talking to a droid. Do you need help finding your owner, honey?
Oh, nice. Okay. And I think it's
I'm sure we could find it. Where's your restraining bolt?
And I think whenever they ask about the owner, I'm like, well, I'm my own owner, and she asks about the restraining bolt, and Jody kind of spits a little bit, like a droid spits, right? And is like, that trash doesn't belong here.
Wow. She actually goes, wow. You're a really mouthy droid, aren't you?
Oh, you should meet my buddy DJ.
Hmm.
And kind of scans around a little bit, and I think DJ's off getting in trouble somewhere else. And
And the block doc like slides his arm around this not Twi'lek's shoulder and leans in. Are you having any trouble, my dear?
I think Jody turns to the companion and says, "Oh, is this your owner?"
Oh, that is awesome. She hits you. Like
nice.
it's going to hurt her, but you get to take one harm, and she punches, like leans up, punches you right in your droid face.
Yeah.
You definitely struck a nerve there. What does Jody do? Would you get punched by this person who maybe broke a knuckle on you because she's in pain, but she's just
I think Jody stands up and says, "Doesn't feel very good, does it? If you need some help with that fist of yours, I've got someone who could fix you up." And then and she's just going to leave, right? Jody's not real good at understanding people and all that kind of stuff, so she doesn't understand. She just stirred something up and all of that. Yeah.
awesome. So, you're near the bar, Jody.
Mhm.
Which means that you can see out of the corner of your eye the mirror behind the bar. And you see her drawing a blaster pistol out from the block doc's like coat. What do you do? Because she's just going to shoot herself a droid
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. So I think Val. So basically, Val's going to come up and attack her. Basically, try and prevent her from shooting me. Yeah.
Nice. How do we want to do this? I guess it's kick some shebs that you're using as an extension, because like for a minute I was like, wait, are you protecting yourself? I'm like, no, I don't think that makes sense. It's just kick some shebs.
Yeah, Val is actually the move detachable parts.
I know, but like for a minute I was like, wait, are you trying to protect somebody who happens to be yourself with your detachment? I'm like, wait, that's too much. That's too complicated. Let's just do protect, kick some shebs. Yeah, I think Yuka, you're on the dance floor right now. And you can catch a little bit of what's going on because it's over near the bar. So, yeah. Jody, what do
Okay.
you see?
So I rolled a 10 and my toughness is 2, so that's a 12.
Wow, that's awesome. So you get to choose an extra effect. And you were just going for like pushing, not blasting back.
So I think narratively, I think what happens is Val, who is a buzz droid, kind of flies up. And
that's right, because Val does have some cool little weapons to use there.
And I don't see anything on the list that's sort of like you take something from them, but effectively I think what Val does is just chops the blaster in half.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so you gain the advantage, you inflict terrible harm, suffer less harm, or you force them where you want them. So
normally we'd be trading damage,
right.
Is that right? So in that case,
no, you're going to trade damage unless you choose to suffer less harm. So she'll get a shot off.
Yeah.
So right, she'll get a shot off, and then Val like slices it in half type deal. Does that work?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, cool. All right, so boom! It's a heavy blaster pistol. It is the kind of thing that is going to hurt. Let's see. It's like this. So it hits you, and it's going to do 2 harm. Okay. But you do have armor, if I remember correctly, or no?
No armor.
Oh, that's right, no armor.
I just have more harm.
That's right. Yeah, lots of harm. So you get hit in the chest, and then Val, little searing laser, slices it in half, and maybe like takes off part of a finger, right? Because it's dangerous. And then we see the little finger laying on the ground by the barrel on the floor, and there's like a slightly spilled drink, and she screams out in pain and falls back against the thing. Luckily, it's cauterized though, so it's not squirting blood or anything. Star Wars, we don't like bleeding, we just have cauterized everything. So yeah, and And I assume Val's gonna like hover around to interpose itself between you and the person with the blaster who no longer has a blaster. And the block doc is gonna like pick his patient, girlfriend, escort, friend, I don't know, pick her up and kind of push her over the bar. Things, what do you think you're doing? Go over there, take a time out. What do you do, Jody, as he's trying to stop this fight and not let his person get killed?
Yeah, I think Jody doesn't really have any beef in this. It isn't, obviously just pissed off the wrong person. And Jody's like, okay, it's time to leave. And kind of, you hear this piercing whistle from Jody. And I think CS244 and Val kind of come towards, and Jody's just going to leave, right? Just going to step out the front door and like, we're done here. Oh, but before she does, she's going to take some credits and set it on the table, for the bartender. Here's, sorry for any distractions. This is a good establishment.
J0D1, should we not terminate the assaulter?
No, I mean, she's fine. She'll learn.
Understood.
And then, yeah, I think Jody's just going to step out in the, and I think we're just going to step out, outside and kind of wait for the rest of the crew to get done.
Nice. Yuka will be probably definitely. I think everyone will see the blaster go off, and Yuka will.
Yeah, there's people like moving quickly out of the way here.
Yeah, I think Yuka's like side mouths like turn a bit like get tighter as it's like an Thorian frown, and she looks at Queen Requiem. My deepest condolences. I must go check on that for a moment. Please continue enjoying yourself. And,
nothing can stop that. Come back to me before you leave Krania City, my lovely.
Yuka will go over and see the block doc, see the patient, and can DJ, the droid that was holding my suitcase and like rolling with the plant, still be here, Jody?
Of course. You said okay?
Yeah.
DJ?
I think DJ had actually wandered off while you were talking to the Queen Requiem, like actually gone up to the DJ booth, and we heard some scratching, from the music for a little bit, and then I think whenever the blaster went off, DJ heard the whistle and kind of came and you catch up with him there. Yeah.
Yeah, and Yuka will look at the block doc, look, see, like I think he's like halfway through shoving the person with the fake Leku over the, and Yuka will I think there's like a small grimace of like her eyes just squinting, seeing the fake Leku. DJ, please get, and she'll name some kind of plant that I don't think really exists in the Star Wars universe, so we're gonna make it up, and she'll start crumbling it up, making a cigarette, making her trademark cigarettes, and then walk over. My deepest apologies, sir and madam. My assistant is without restraining bolts, and that has made her an interesting companion. I see you have been injured. May I offer a homeopathic remedy for your injuries? And she'll offer out the cigarette.
And like you come in on the conversation of the not Twillig screaming, "She cut off my finger! Oh, fingers are a dime a dozen. Don't worry, I'll get you a better finger. I'll get you 12 fingers. I'll get you a finger that becomes 3 fingers. I don't care." And that's when you come in and offer this cigarette, and the Twillig stands up, and her face is a mess. She's been kind of show crying, but also she is in pain, kind of thing. And she snatches the cigarette away from you. And this is a gross habit, and she crumples it up with her good hand and kind of lets it crinkle down onto the bar.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. No offense to you. She needs to go. I think she's had one too many.
Well, you got one thing wrong and one thing right. She needs to go, but offense was definitely taken. And Yuka pulls out her holdout blaster and will shoot off one of the Leku.
Oh! Wow. I think that just happens. I mean, because she doesn't have a weapon, and yeah, it just. Sorry, I just kind of wow, that is awesome. I think it's a and then the Leku falls to the ground, and then of course we have the shot of the severed Leku, no blood whatsoever, and you see these like little staticky things, and there's like electricity kind of coming out of the thing. And she reaches up like she's holding somebody cut off a dread or something, and the block duck says, "Oh, you're in so much trouble now. Let's go, darling." And he starts like he's gonna leave even if she doesn't
and
come.
the last thing I'll say to the block doc is, just as a tongue-in-cheek thing, you've got your work cut out for you, it seems.
Nice.
And I think we see DJ, who's been standing there, watching some of this go on, and the Leku hits the ground, and he grabs it, and then he looks for a second, and he sees a finger, and he grabs it and runs out the front door.
God, that's so weird.
DJ, so strange.
Is DJ gonna be like having a Leku now, like one Leku?
Oh, I actually like the idea, if you don't mind, Yuka, if one of your jars in your suitcase now has like a little finger in it. Yeah.
Well, now what I'm going to propose doesn't seem so gross.
Okay.
In all of this commotion, I think I want to use tech, and Zop is, just whispers to his shoulder, Cinna, and this little crustacean thing crawls out from under his armor, and he's going to pick it up and place it on the back of the block dock, and during all this commotion it's crawling into his ear and he doesn't notice it.
Oh, you definitely need to act under pressure to pull that off.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. That's
pull it off without being noticed. Like, I think you're going to do it, but does he know you did it is really the question.
Plus, cool, here we go, rolling flat, always works. That's a 9.
Okay, I'm going to give you a worst outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. The not Twillick will see it. The block doc
That's
does.
fine.
You're fine?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
Okay.
And then use tech. This is something that's been inside Zop's ear, and he's used it elsewhere, but he's going to use it again on the block dock. And I'm trying to see where our quarry is, because the block dock is obviously knows. Right. So
all right. Use tech.
12.
Nice. Your dice like you when it counts, right? All right.
Yeah.
10 plus technology works without issues. Choose your effect.
So I want to see another place or time, and this is like, I can see where I've even forgotten the name of our quarry.
Udolph
is right now.
Sweet. I think we need to take our way late for bio break, but our moment before we go to bio break is him getting into a speeder, and as he's zooming away in this nice little sleek speeder with the very upset patient, he gets onto a comm, and you see a little like hollow of Udolph, and he says, "Darling, maybe is there some people on your way?" And you are able to kind of grab the input sequence that he put to get in communication with Udolph for now. And excellent. With that, let's take our mid-game break. Okay, and we're back. So looking at time and the fact that we want to carve out some time for retirement, I might suggest that you guys and I talk about perhaps making a plan to get you into kind of jumpstart into this dangerous action. Does that sound interesting to folks? Make a plan is on the basic moves, row 110. I stole it from Zombie World, an excellent game that I really haven't even thought about trying to Star Warsify. I haven't, I promise. It could be done, but I haven't done that. Sweet. So here is what you gather from what Zop was able to steal if he shares it with everyone.
Yeah, we need the quarry.
Okay, cool. Udolf Kibregan is actually the kind of underworld crime boss who stays in the corporate quarter because it's safer. So most of her gang, when they see her, is when she travels away from her domicile. She does the kind of crime boss, mafia don kind of vibe of living in the really nice corp quarter, then going down to Metroplex 13 and the Warrens or the Hive to deal with her people. So that is a dangerous but less numerous amount of enemies. Or the other place that you could attempt to intercept her is in travel to the Hive to meet with her people. Or lastly, if you just want to try to blow up wherever she's at, because you get more credits for dead than alive, then you could try to hit her there.
Jump in if anyone has different ideas. I kind of am feeling not like a car chase, but like a intercepting mid-travel plan, since we have at least Wynn has her skates on, but we could, either planting somebody in the car or just kind of like driving up, driving your speeder next to her, trying to snatch through a window or whatever. Or if it goes, south, we could just blow up the car or something. Could blow up the speeder. I don't know.
I'm thinking we can make her have to travel by relying on the Razor Girls. There's this grand thing over there. If you want to go for Udolf, we'll keep her from messing with you. Promise.
True. The Razor Girls don't love Udolf. They just stay out of her orbit.
Oh, yeah, but giving them a chance to go for her stuff while we take care of Udolf. Yeah.
That is definitely a thing you could use to set up this plan. That sounds fun. So it sounds like the group is cool with a plan about trying to hit her in between. Sounds. What if I talk to her girlfriend at the bar? Oops. So it sounds like it's a plan about taking dangerous action. Right, because you're not being careful, safe, stealthy, or smart. You're not You're not persuading, manipulating, or lying. You're not pushing through, being tough, strong, or implacable. So I guess it would be a role with tough.
I can see tough or charm persuading the Razor Girls, or tough for how you're acting afterwards. But I'm happy to roll tough for this plan for everyone if everyone's fine for it.
Okay, well, we have a few adjustments. You'll be rolling plus tough. Is the plan supported by plenty of resources and people? I've got to say no on plenty. So you don't get a +1 there. You're basing the plan on accurate current information. I'll say yes. Zop was able to give that to you all. There we go. -1 if there's significant opposition that will interfere with the plan. There's going to be some significant opposition. She's traveling, but she doesn't travel alone. And then a -1 significant dissent about what plan to follow. I didn't hear dissent, just to check in. Zop, do you count as dissent?
I don't know if it's significant dissent about where to get her.
But the
dissent
plan
about
is
maybe explode her, then there might be dissent from Zop.
Then you guys talk it out. Is this plan to kill Udolf, which gets you 12 bounty, or is it to capture, which gets you a mere 8 bounty?
Do we think that she has information that even those of us who are like she should die. We're trying to capture her to at least interview her before that, because otherwise I think probably sniping wherever she's traveling, like from a rooftop, would probably be the best plan.
I don't think any of us have a sniper rifle though.
Yeah,
But
could drop
I
a grav hammer.
am fine for being I think you could want to take her out. But I mean, she also knows that many gangs or stragglers are reliant on Udolph, so she could be convinced to try and go more peaceful route.
Yeah. When's this off? Do you know that like she'll always be open to an argument to not kill someone who doesn't?
Is that an argument that Zop makes?
I think Zop would phrase it as let's start with taking her alive.
You can always kill her later.
We can always kill her later.
Ooh.
Yes.
One thing I forgot, you did do the Tanwa clan's bidding last time. They owe us help on this mission, don't they? They owe you information.
Fortunately, that's not really how it works.
Dang. Yeah.
I don't. They let's see. At the beginning of each run, they provide something useful or helpful in the field if I do it right. They ask me to do something bad. Yeah, no, it's just I have to do what they say. Yeah.
So I have a quick question. Out of character, the Tenwa clan told you that they needed to get her to do something. Is that right?
They just need her alive.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the Block Doc like spun a tale based off of myths, so whether it's true or not is debatable.
Gotcha.
And I think Jody walks up to Win and kind of puts an arm around her and says, "Hey, Talon would be really happy about, pulling the disintegrator where we could turn her in as dead but not really kill her, right? I mean, we could spread there was a previous character who would let the bounties free, but say he disintegrated them. Yeah. So anyway, it's always an option.
Yeah, and that's what happened with Voriara. We blasted something really, really bad, and we're like, these ashes are her.
It's true.
Okay, so it sounds like there's not dissent about the plan.
Sounds like
I guess Yuka is kicking us off.
Okay.
So then you are rolling plus tough with no other pluses but no minuses. So just plus tough.
Gotcha.
And just so we're clear, I think I had said because you're already working together, there's no call for aid for the plan. Like the roll is the roll. Just making sure we're all on the same page. So
yeah. That's an 8. Makes sense.
okay. On a hit, you arrive in the middle of your plan in decent shape. On a 7 to 9, some part of your plan encounters unexpected difficulties or your party splinters, your choice. And Yuka, you made the roll, so we'll give you the choice. In unexpected difficulties or your party is splintered during...
Unexpected difficulties.
Okay, cool.
So Rich, can I make a real quick tech roll to see if I can heal up some of that harm?
Yes, you should. You should do that because you guys have a little bit of time.
I got a 7, plus 1 is 8, which lets me heal 1, I think. I'm good.
Yes.
Oh, it's 2. Yeah.
Repair. I was reading more machine than man. Yes, you heal 2 harm. There you go. You plug into the source for electricity. So what does that look like, Joey healing? What do people see? Because I don't know if we definitely haven't seen in this series.
Yeah, so I think, I'm sorry to interrupt the flow of what's going on. I think we're on a speeder making the plan, and I think Jody reaches over and has CS 244 and DJ here, and is basically looking for spare parts that they have. And, I think CS 244 has is carrying some stuff, some plating, and Jody takes that and welds it on in place of where that chest hit was, maybe rewires some stuff. And, it's all kind of in the background and we see some sparks fly and everything as the plan comes together.
Nice. And I think CS is doing most of the help with the repair. Occasionally we see DJ pull up the Leku, kind of place it and start like trying to wire the things. It has to pull off the side of this little, cover to get to the wiring. It's trying to wire the Leku in. Yeah, I think that's a thing that doesn't happen immediately, but at some point we'll have DJ running around with a floppy Leku. That's weird. DJ had to make it weird. Anyway, awesome. So we jump into the middle of our plan with some unexpected opposition. I think what happens is that you guys spot the sleek, but not like this isn't the Maserati of speeders. It's a really nice upper middle class speeder that she rides. She's not driving it. Udolph is in the back. It actually isn't open air, right? The speeder has a top, but you spot her. She slips by. Sure, yeah, the Lexus of speeders. I like that. She has a driver and a second who are in the front. And Yuka, you did the roll. So is this a thing where you imagine you guys try to disable the speeder by coming up beside it or shooting at it as it goes by? Which of those two options?
I think Yuka, if Zop's okay with it, is driving the stolen speeder really fast and is trying to get Zop to jump off onto the other speeder so he can do some tech shit on it.
I'm into that.
Oh, that sounds hot. So yeah, you jump onto the speeder, get shot at some. We're not quite to the middle, so I'm just doing a little we'll talk it through bit. You are able to disable it, but I think the unexpected difficulties is that you were hoping to disable it and do all this in the sky, but during the fight, the speeder crashes onto the Duracrete streets in an area that is not corpse sector, like you've left the corp quarter, you have just entered Metroplex 13, and the unexpected difficulties are that, hey, good news, this is not where the corp cops will be. Bad news, this is where the gangs are. Some of the gangs who seeing a possible, seeing Udolph here means one of two reactions. One, hey, let's take her out and we'll be the kingpins. Or two, the smarter interaction, hey, let's save her and she'll owe us a lot. So speeder comes crashing down. Zop, you're thrown clear. Everyone's dream to be thrown clear. One of her bodyguards is killed either by Zop or in the crash itself. Udolph is in the turned over onto its side, kind of leaning against a street lamp wreckage of the speeder when skidding superhero pose for the win. Zop, you totally get that. That's what you get. Skidding superhero pose. Rain slick Duracrete streets. You look awesome. You're a great, amazing knight of the Tanwa clan. Yeah, Akira bike slide. Yes, all these references are true. Somehow they're all the same, just in various director's cuts. And yeah, blaster bolts start firing. There are gangs who are moving in. We will define the gangs. Of course, there are the White Rabbits, led by Alepi, who has a lot of wounds, but you guys didn't kill, so she's still alive and gets to be here and annoy you. And yeah, so I think Bloody Alice and the White Rabbits are on the scene. And I think you talked to the Razor Girls about Udolph's going down, so you make a hit on her stuff, so they're not here at all. And I think the currently leaderless vultures may be sticking their nose into it. The leaderless because Craven, the Togruta, was killed in last session, destroyed his favorite speeder and then killed him. He's so dead. So Zop's down on the ground, superhero pose initiated. Yuka, you were flying the speeder, right? So you're still on the speeder. I imagine there's some blaster bolt holes on the speeder from the running gunfight that was going on. Where is Win? Also on a speeder, rocket skating up to this. Where do you think she is?
I think she was in the speeder prepping to either jump out or jump into the other speeder to grab her and potentially rocket skate out /
Nice.
away.
You're about to pull that off when the speeder like took a nosedive. That sounds good. And then Jody, where do you think you're positioned?
So Jody was in the speeder with Yuka, kind of returning fire from the bodyguards that were in that speeder. But Val had gone over and was doing the buzz droid thing, right? And gone underneath the speeder and was starting to.
That's why the speeder crashed.
That's why the speeder crashed. And I think the speeder actually crashes, and we see, superhero pose and Akira bike slide, and everything's really dramatic. And we start to see fight, and we see this like buzz droid crawl up to the top of that crashed speeder and go, "Whoa!"
Cute. I love it. Sweet. So Udolph is looking for ways to get out of here. And she is getting covering fire from her remaining bodyguard, who is a Wookiee. A Wookiee with a real big gun that she pulls out, and she kind of sets it on top of the speeder and starts firing. So it is like a heavy repeating blaster, and she is firing at you, Yuka, because you're the ones that took her down. So that's where we're at the beginning. We don't have initiative, so I'll ask the person who's on the ground. Zop, you see this. Udolph has a vibro sword, because you've seen the picture. She has a vibro sword. She's drawn the vibro sword. It's real long. She's drawn it out, and she's hunkered down underneath the speeder looking for a way, and you spot for a second, she spots a speeder bike that one of the white rabbits has hopped off of to come this way. The Wookiee stands up, sets the heavy repeating blaster on top of the thing so it has a nice stable platform, and starts firing on your allies' speeder. Is it too much for me to call them your allies, or like people you work, co-workers?
They're co-workers.
Co-workers.
No. I think Zappa's gonna lay into that speeder bike and can't let the quarry get away. Yuka's tough.
Nice. Okay, cool.
I've come to rely on Yuka being tough. So I'm gonna exchange harm, I guess, with the with the speeder bike. Or no,
that's if you're giving up, that's your action, then you take out that speeder bike. Right. What does it look like? Is it a thing where you're using
the disruptor rifle?
Yeah.
It's a gnarly blue arcy kind of explosion as it goes.
Just so we're on the same page, I imagine that when someone sees a disruptor rifle go off, like it escalates the tension level a good bit.
Yeah. And there's a distinctive sound of it too. Yeah.
Yeah. So you disrupt that speeder bike real good. Let's slip up to Yuka, because being the pilot, I think is of the speeder makes sense.
So are Wynn and Jody still in the speeder with me?
I think Jody is taking cover behind the speeder and starting to return fire.
Gotcha. And Wynn?
Yeah, I think Wynn was already headed out, and I think she doesn't have to be in it if you don't want it. Like, I think she's
I think
one foot out.
When I was going to ask, I was going to say, you need to get out for a moment, and as soon as both of them are clear, Yuka will start plowing forward towards the Wookiee with the speeder and attempt to jump out at the last moment.
Wow. So you're just planning on ramming speed?
Yeah, ramming speed.
What do we do? We die. No, we jump out. Sweet. That is insane and delightful. I'd like to see. So is Jody getting off of the speeder, I assume? Right? Like
Jody was out.
Oh, yeah. Jody's out, right. Did Jody like pop DJ's collapsible thing and then grab him?
So I think, we all kind of got out. I think what we see is a shot where Jody was using the speeder as cover to return fire. And I think DJ, had stepped out and was kind of fumbling around, like goofing around undercover behind the ship. And whenever it takes off, ramming speed-wise, I think we're left without a little bit of cover.
Nice. That's great. So let's see you. I think act under pressure feels like the right move here to see if you get out without getting hurt. Is that fair?
Seemed right.
Okay.
Yeah. Glad I improved my cool last time.
Super cool. Cool's the other side of the pillow.
Oh, I needed that. That's a 7.
Okay, now before the act under pressure, I'll give you a worse outcome, hard choice price to pay, or you can call for aid if you wanted some help from someone to push you up to a 10 plus, because in the call for aid, it actually push you up a success level. So checking in, are you good with the 7?
I am good with the 7. I want to give my allies different opportunities. So yeah.
Awesome. You realize that the level of heavy repeating blaster coming your way, if you're going to stay here long enough to have it aimed where it doesn't veer off at the last second, you're going to eat 3 harm.
Yeah.
To do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you take a couple of the blaster bolts, some shrapnel and everything, as this Wookiee lights up that speeder, completely convinced I will blow it out of the sky before it hits me. She's dead wrong. And you jump out at the last moment, kind of slap down onto the Duracrete streets in your beautiful Ithorian way, and that speeder smashes into it. The Wookiee eats all of that speeder. Udolph sees what's about to happen, and she takes off running. There were a couple of white rabbits who were coming up. You know them because they have these like often facial neck tattoos of like a white rabbit because of Bloody Alice, their leader. They're coming running up to try to help, and one of them gets hit with the explosion, and Udolph is running behind them, and it saves her. But yeah, several of those guys are hit, and a lot of people are knocked to the ground from the explosion. When you jumped out in the rocket skates, you can move quickly. You see this crazy explosion. You see that Zop has taken out a speeder bike. You're on the Duracrete street, zipping along on your rocket skates. What do you want to do?
I think, do I see Udolph take off running in response to this explosion?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am definitely like, okay, cool. Like this, she's very much in that mindset. Like these were all blockers, and now it's my job to go in and try and grab.
It's time to jam.
Like time to jam, exactly. So she is definitely kind of like dodging and weaving and zooming up to see if she can grab Udolph.
Cool. And in case it's like not clear in the size of the picture, Udolph is a tiny woman. She is near human. She's like 5'2". She has like these pointed ears. You're not sure if that was like a block dog thing or if that's part of her species. She carries this, and this is a heavy armored jacket she has on. It is actually what's called a molecular jacket. I'm not sure if Wynn would know what that means, but I'll explain it if it becomes pertinent. And this vibro sword of hers is a pretty big thing. So yeah, you're coming up behind her, jamming along, and she's kind of eyes on everywhere. So when you come up in a rocket skate, she's going to see you and skid to a stop with the sword out. Like, okay, this is a thing. What do you do?
Ooh,
you can see from her eyes, she reads you as threat, not threat. Like she doesn't know you, so she isn't sure. Like, are you coming here to be part of this? You don't think she saw you in the speeder, maybe?
Oh, okay. And she's a mob boss, so she's used to. I can't use a use a trust me and be like, it's better for us to take you alive than not, because she's like, you take me alive, ah, ha, ha, ha. And yeah, so I think that I think Wynn is gonna kind of like harden herself up and try and like run into, just skate straight into, instead of like turning to kind of like slide, to kind of like stop and like talk. I think she's gonna kind of like lower it in and kind of like aim for the center of her and just kind of like keep
Barrel
going
ahead. Oh,
just
what could go
barrel
wrong?
ahead.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong indeed. And I think possibly wants to have a hand on like her pistol so that she can maybe shoot the katana out of her hand if necessary, so she
Let's
can
see
get,
you kick some shebs. But I think you've activated what could go wrong here if you
Okay.
want to use those options.
All right. And that's the thing, is she's reading this as moment of hesitation. I can use this. Yeah, so I'm gonna, that's one tough. I can
What? The dice are loving you right now. That is insane.
oh boy.
10 plus. So you tackle her, you're gonna take some harm, right? Because she's gonna stab you at the last moment, going, well, this is obviously an enemy.
Yeah.
Stab. So you're gonna take some damage, but you get to choose one extra effect because of the 10 plus. So do you want to take +1 forward, give +1 forward to another bounty hunter? That's option 1. Inflict terrible harm, suffer less harm, or force them where you want them.
I think I want to force her where I want her, which is that even if she stabs me, I want to knock that out of her hands, maybe, or like make it so that I've got her firmly somehow.
So you're hoping to disarm her. That's or force her to be weaponless. That's perfectly fine. She's going to stab you real hard with a vibro sword, which is 2 harm, hand messy. And you happen to have this delightful armor jacket, so you only take 1 pitiful harm from this as you knock her to the ground, and the vibro sword's still on. On the Duracrete, is it like, I don't know why I keep saying Duracrete streaks. I love that phrase. It's bad. I've used it too much already. I'm putting it in the penalty box. It skitters along, still vibrating along the asphalt. All right, so let's slide over to Jody because we're not sure what's going on. With Jody, Wynn has just tackled Udolph. There's a big fire right behind her, lighting up the neon-soaked streets that are made of asphalt, not Duracrete. What do you want to do, Jody?
Yeah, so I think Jody basically was standing behind the speeder. It crashed, coverless. I think Jody reaches over, grabs a hold of DJ where he was skittering around, and throws him in the direction of where, there's some cover, and we hear that whole droid scream. Aah! And then Jody does this crazy, like, ninja flip in the direction of where Udolph is, sees Wynn go tearing by, and is going to try to take Udolph out now that she doesn't have any weapons.
Okay. Sweet. So you're taking advantage of Wynn causing her to be weaponless it seems like you're going to kick some ships.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
So let's see what that looks like. I rolled Snake Eyes.
Okay.
And I'm going to sit with Snake Eyes because that deserves no help, right? Yeah.
So the good news is that you get an XP. The bad news is that you move over. And how was Jody going to club her, stun her, phase her, hit her? What was the weapon? What was the attack that Jody was trying to pull off?
Yeah, I think this was kind of a ninja kind of flip kind of thing, sort of like the commando droids.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet. So you flip, you're standing over Udolph. She looks at you for a second. You see that she pulled out this like canister looking thing for a second. Almost looks like a code cylinder, but she's in the process of like twisting and pulling it out, and it starts to glow. It's a monofilament whip / garrote that she's going to use to try to take off Wynn's head. You see that you've got the drop on her, which is awesome, except you're shot in the back by a sniper. So we like up on one of the Metroplex buildings is none other than Kiana, who is here. I know it's my heart move. It's a Kiana, and she just shot you with an ion bolt. So the bolt hits, it doesn't hurt, and then poof, you get short circuited. So you effectively are stunned for, we'll say, like one round of, like R2 in Return of the Jedi for a second.
If I may, I think that we hear that click, and then it's just, and Jody then goes to the ground, and the electricity arcs, and there's this weird dissonance between the vibro sword buzzing.
Oh,
and
that's
Jody
cool.
buzzing on the ground. Yeah,
I love that. That's such a cool visual image. That's really dope. That's sweet. Let's skip over to Zop, and then we're gonna follow to Yuka to win. But Zop, what do? You see the Udol's been tackled. You just saw someone shoot Jody with from a sniper point a freaking ion canister, like a bullet. It's crazy. And you see that they're now going to like take aim on the next person who's coming after Udolph. What?
I think I'm going to. Oh man, there's so many people I need to protect right now.
I know. It's a lot of people.
I mean, I guess Jody's technically down. Don't need to protect Jody. But Wynn may not realize that she's about to have her head taken off by the quarry. So I'm gonna. Yeah, so Zop just beats feet as fast as he possibly can. Much slower than rocket skates, but with surprising Rhodian speed. And I'm going
like Rhodian opera playing the background for this action moment.
Yeah, and he's doing like a full whatever Rhodian bellowing sounds like as he's running, and he's ditched all of his weapons. He just has his vibro rapier down. And I'm going to roll to protect Wynn.
Oh, awesome.
Let's see. That is plus tough, plus I get +1 for using the vibro rapier to do it. And I inflict +1 harm when I do.
Oh, so, nasty.
This is +3. Wow. I don't have anything. I guess I could ask Wynn for help.
Help me, help you. Help me, help you. Yeah, I mean, if you don't get help, you get an XP.
Oh, I don't mind if you want to. If you want to sit with the fail helping, and I can.
Well,
and
let me
I
check
can
what protect someone 7 and 9. Someone plus you protect them okay, but you'll suffer some of the harm. Yeah, I would like you to protect. I want to suffer the harm instead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I think even if she doesn't know what's happening, but so is that out of her eyesight then?
No. When I mean, I think Zop's not on your eyesight. I think you like tackled Udolph, knocked her to the ground. She pulled out this canister, ripped and pulled, and you see this glowing monofilament thing, energy up, and she's gonna try to hit you with it.
Wynn just kind of like rolls over with her. Which moves her right into Zop's way.
Awesome. I think then you see. It feels like that's a movement tough thing, right? To me. Okay, it's kind of like kicking some shebs, like you're trying to use combat to your advantage. So you need to roll help with roll plus tough. Although I could have acted under pressure. Anyway.
Oh, man. Rough day. Rough day for Zop and Wynn.
Wow, Zop and Wynn. Awesome. Okay, here's what happens. You try to roll with it. when she moves with it and then comes up over you, like knee on your shoulder kind of thing. Zop, you come around to try to defend when she pulls that up and just your rapier gets seared in half. Like just, the front half of it just gets sheared off, and she rolls back off of the two of you and takes off running the other way. And you see that there's a Leppy on a speeder bike who's like zipping along, reaching her hand out. Come on. And Udol's going to try to grab that. Yuka, though, you happen to be in the general direction where she's running. What do you do?
I think the way I imagine Yuka's grab hammer when it's in battle to not be ready, just like this big block on her back, like a backpack, and she slings it off, presses a button, the hammer just juts out. She picks it up, starts swinging. I imagine like the grab hammer has like that gravity, like an audible sound, and she starts mimicking it with like as best she can with her Thorian lungs. And I think she slams a very bad line in the Duracrete with the hammer to basically say, threaten, don't cross this, as she begins heading towards the Leppy on a speeder and Udolf.
Sweet. Let's see you. It sounds like you want to get to them, right? So let's have you act under pressure here to see if you can reach them before they
Gotcha.
are able to get away. Good luck.
Oh, I can. That's a 10.
Oh, nice. So you act under pressure. You get there in time. Like, were you hoping to get there before Udolph's able to slide up onto the speeder bike, or were you hoping to get up right at the time that they're both preoccupied with making sure Udolph doesn't fall off before they take off?
I think I get there like right before Udolph does, and I just lay into the speeder bike on the side. Like, she's coming at it from one side, I'm coming at it from the other. Just batter up.
Oh. And you do it. Like, you acted under pressure. You hit the back of the speeder bike, and it goes slams into the side of a building. Glass shatters everywhere. The Leppy is thrown, but not. There's no superhero land. Yeah. Like, that's you gonna hurt for a long time. And then there's this pregnant moment as Udolph looks at you, and you look at her.
Yeah, and Yuka will say, "I want to take you alive currently. Don't carking change that."
Whatever they're paying you, I'll triple it.
Oh, damn.
So, cut to Jody. So Jody, pick us up. What are you doing? You just got shocked. Your senses are starting to come back online.
So I think Jody is like convulsing on the ground from the electricity that you see coursing through the robotic body, and Valve kind of buzzes over and chops that little ion package off, right? And it starts to kind of, reboot. Do I actually get an action this round, or do we wait till next one?
Well, you're supposed to lose an action. I just wanted to check in with you.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's so I'll lose an action. And basically, now that I kind of have my senses around, we see kind of a rebooting through the eyes, and I'm getting the lay of where everything is now.
Cool. See, Zop and Win, there's a face-off with Yuka and Udolph going on far away from you guys. There's the little monofilament whip like laying on the ground right by your head, Win. Like, she spun away and left it there. It's just in there. You can see the little bit of steam and neon coming off from the wire. What do you do, Win?
Oh yeah, I absolutely grabbed that. And then I'm like, man, and I was totally gonna say that I had a different way to get her out of this and everything. but grabbed it and then it's like, I'm so sorry about your sword, Zop.
And I think you notice it's not just Zop's sword. He's like holding where he should have a hand.
Oh yes, thank you for going one step better. I am into it.
I mean, it's Star Wars. Limbs come off a lot, if that's
Thank
okay.
you.
I know we have a veil and graphic gore, so I don't want to get like, it's just like he's holding it. Yeah.
I think she looks horrified and is like, oh my gosh, oh my, Criff, this is awful. And
Win. The quarry. Win.
yeah, yeah. It's like, all right, I'll buy you a new hand, and like zips off, hits her rocket skates and zips off towards the towards this face off with the kind of whip out. The idea that like I don't know if she can come up behind them or if they're tilted toward her, but I think she wants to like use that to kind of grab her from behind if possible.
Awesome. I want to see you. I'm going to spin back to Yuka. What's the reaction to Udal's? You know, it's motivated by fear, but she means it. She will triple this bounty.
I think Yuka, like seeing Win streaming forward, sees that Win, it was a messy blow, so Win is probably bleeding pretty heavily from the side, and then looks down and sees Zop's broken rapier still being held. You could have bought me. You can't buy me new friends. Offer declined.
Damn. Oh, harsh. So when you come up from behind Udolf, there's this moment of she just shifts, okay, got to deal with this, and person with grav hammer. You've got the drop on her, Win. What do you do?
Yeah, I think that yeah, Win is gonna she zooms up, and then she has the end in one, she has it in one hand, and she kind of scoops it up around her and throws it to her other hand, and she's got her around the waist with it, and she's like, could have made it easier, but we got to get the win. And she's found, oh wait, Greg, were you saying?
Notice the filament around the waist. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I like, she's not. Oh, so it will totally like burn her if I use it. Oh, it would cut her in half. No, she doesn't want to cut her in half. I think she has it so that it's like there, her hands are, and she's like, she really doesn't want to move. She's very motivated to not move right now.
All right. I think you're trying to manipulate her here. So
yeah,
let's see if she buys it or she thinks she can push.
Yeah, she's like, my friend lost a hand, but you're in a position to lose worse.
Yeah, there we go.
Manipulate someone. Ooh.
Okay, cool. So 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. So she looks at the lot of you and she says, bounty hunters, right?
How perceptive.
Guarantee that you'll protect me on the way, and I'll stand down.
You should know how many credits different is it? Dead or alive? It's 12. Oh, okay, 4. I think Win is like that. I think to motivate us to keep you alive, it would be great. Well, we're fine protecting you, but if you make it worth our while to keep, if you make up the difference, then we don't have to kill you.
All right. I'll do that.
And then I assume somebody puts her in binders while Win has this here, because I don't think she wants to move.
And she calls off a couple of the white rabbits who were trying to figure out, oh, do we want to stick our nose in this? This looks terrifying. And
Is Bloody Alice there?
Bloody Alice is out.
Okay,
Like,
gotcha.
she's going to get picked up by some street docs and show up later, but not in this game.
I'm interested in, I think, having his hand severed. Zop may have had a change of heart about turning her in alive. But I think it's interesting if Jody stops him.
Ooh, so yeah, maybe Jody, you get up and see that Zop might have murder in his Rhodian eyes.
Yeah, and his non-severed hand is gone to his blaster, and he's hoofed it up and is just slowly ambling towards the gosh, why can't I keep these people's names straight?
Udolph,
yes.
So I think that Jody steps forward, and I think what we've seen in the background is Val kind of flies up where the sniper nest was and is kind of, zapping a little bit there. And I think CS-244 was holding off some of the gang, with a blaster. And Jody kind of walks up and sees that you're headed towards Udolph to try and take them out. And walks up and engages you a little bit and says, we'll see what we can do. My one of the droids I have back at the Raptor is a very good medical droid, and we'll see what we can do with your hand. Just you take it easy right now. And I think that's when CS-244, the security droid, turns around and just, very no nonsense, very literal, is like, you can't kill the Mark now. That's not the mission. Would you like a convince roll or something like that?
No. I think it's just a fun in the fiction that Jody talks Zop down. Yeah. And Zop is like, oh, you're muted, Rich.
If I could have one little thing, I think there's a moment as you look, Zop, you look over to Jody. Jody's like, this thing CS says it's not the mission. And then a glance down the DJ who takes the Leku and just offers it up to you.
And Zop like pats DJ on the head, just like, not right now. You're right. I'm already in bad standing with the clan now that I've lost my sword. So.
Oh, yeah. So you guys successfully capture Udolph Kibragan. And just looking at time, and that I said I wanted to carve a lot more time off for retirement roles, we'll just say she makes up the difference. So you guys all receive 3 bounty each for taking care of this trifling matter.
Can I give one of my bounty to Zop to buy him a super awesome prosthetic hand? I think that.
Oh, you can spend bounty to get cool gear. So if that's what you want to do.
I was going to use that as part of my epilogue. So.
Oh, really? If you want, yeah. Okay. Feel free.
Yeah.
The only thing I would like is for you could pick up the vibro sword and take off Udolph's jacket. She's going to give the vibro sword to Zop to replace his rapier, and then places the jacket on Jody and just pats her on the shoulder. You did good.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Cool. So let's go and do a round. And we discussed before starting the game that Jody, not really fair to do retirement role, especially after Jody had an epilogue before. So you can just tag on epilogue, whatever you want, Stephen, for Jody here. But yeah, you guys each have 3 bounties. Spend them as you wish. Looks like people are trying to fill up as much of the drive track as they can. Good luck. And let's go around the horn. Who would like to do the first retirement roll?
I'm fine doing it. I've bought up to +1 and kept 1 bounty just in case.
Okay, always good. And let's have you go ahead and roll. And again, no one can help you retire. And there is no luck in this, so I'll just remove that statement. There we go.
That is an 8.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, and again, remind us, what was your drive to hunt bounties?
My drive was to take down as much of the Hutt cartel, and I had bioengineered many of the plants they had almost killed or have destroyed to take root in Hutt biology.
7 to 9, you achieve your drive, but it costs you something. Describe the compromise you make or cost you pay to finally achieve your goal, and describe what becomes of your bounty hunter.
Okay. To do this, I need to ask Zop something. Do you mind if Yuka has, you find out later that Yuka has taken the holocron?
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do have an idea. I kind of want to tie Van into it slightly, but I think we see Yuka on this, driving this ship, landing on this planet that looks like kind of desolate, swampy, not the Hutt planet, but just kind of. Actually, I think she's on Dathomir.
Oh, cool.
She she's walking through this dangerous marshy place. This Rancor pops up. There's just this grab hammer swings, slams the beast aside as she makes it to the temple of the Dark Sisters, and there is this single shrouded figure, and Yuka walks up, throws the holocron down in front of this woman. We see a red lightsaber appear out, and it's I've brought payment for assistance. Anything for my goal. And then the lightsaber takes away, but we see I think there was a Hutt on that planet when we played. And as Yuka's driving off, we just see this the Hutt that looks like a bonsai tree. It's that in the shape of a Hutt as she's planted things on there.
Oh, that's delightful. I love it. I love it. That's great. Who would like to go next, Zop or Win?
I'm good to go next.
And remind us, what's your drive to hunt bounties?
My drive is to have my accomplishments recounted in a grand blood opera. And I have bought up to, I think, also +1, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
Same. Yep.
Also, you achieve your drive, but it costs you something. Describe the compromise you make or cost you pay to finally achieve your goal, and then tell us what becomes of you.
So I think we're back on Black Orchard, and we see a very shiny robotic hand turning pages, and then a baton and a tap tap tap, and Zop is orchestrating with whatever band is left over from the cantina that got destroyed. He's going through a rehearsal for the Grand Blood Opera, but he's had to make a lot of compromises on casting and a lot of compromises on the talent of the thing, and so it's not quite there. It's not quite reaching the level Zop wants it to, and he's frustrated, and he kind of, they get done with the rehearsal. And Nakub, who is the pirate captain, who he's had run-ins with the past, is Zop into production, because Zop. Yes, and just has this frustrated conversation with Nakub about, no, you're not doing it right. No, you have to carry yourself with such passion, and Nakub is just not getting it. And it closes very quickly on Black Orchard to middling reviews, and
it's a run, cut short.
And so Zop is at the after party, maybe at the rocket skating rink or something, and is just flitting through his data pad, and there's a communication from Utri, the Bothan, and he clicks it open, and it's just another bounty spins up with the little Tanwa clan symbol below it. So,
Oh my gosh,
his brief foray into the theatrical arts did not go as planned.
That hurts. That hurts me.
Beautiful. Win definitely buys him around, and it's like, it was great. I don't know what everyone is saying. It was a great, the real, the resonance. It's definitely supposed to do that, right?
Now it is time for Win. Now, Win, remind us, what was your drive?
To either buy out the Rocket Skate team or basically move their contract around so that they could have more agency in establishing it, and just kind of like maybe boost them up to like get to a professional league. Who knows?
Nice. Let's see. You've filled up your drive track
Dumped
impressively.
The last 3 in, which I wonder if I should hang on to one like what you got.
It's a whole +2 versus a +3 question for you. So
okay, I think I will dump it all in, even though that's I feel like it's daring the dice to go badly, but I'll just leave it. I will leave it there.
Boxcars. What? That is amazing. Okay, on a 12+, you complete your drive and get out of bounty hunting life, and if you wish, retire to comfort. Describe how and what becomes of your bounty hunter, and you can even grant one bounty to any player you like.
Oh my!
Wow.
This never happens to me.
What? The dice loved you today.
This is wild. This is crazy. I think that I kind of wanted this to go as a conversation with Larce, if you don't like mind. Or,
sure.
Like
yeah. No,
like yeah. I think that oh, you want the okay. Well, everyone make arguments for the bounty in the chat. I had an idea, but if you have an idea, I will definitely. Okay, so you could is in my mind. I think Win gets back to Black Orchard, bleeding from being stabbed, and is like, hopefully, has pooled things together, and the conversation she had with Joji about, maybe you can, seeing what's possible at the league, like maybe I really need to spend more time kind of investing this into the team so that we can actually get somewhere, and maybe we can travel places, and has that all in her mind as she goes and gets patched up enough, and then kind of gets her bounty together and has her little spiel, and kind of like somehow manages to get an appointment with Larce, and kind of like gets to the office and knocks on the door, like,
come in.
Come in. She comes in like, hey.
And it's, of course, the office is like on one of the tops of the towers. So you have this whole view of the spaceport, and it's in around, like there are windows all around. So he could at any point see any part of the spaceport that he wishes. And he's behind this sleek little floating desk.
Yeah, I think she marvels at the view. She's like, wow, it doesn't even look too bad from up here. Gosh, we should have, maybe when we get the bar, it should be floating. It's a great view. Anyway, so, and she kind of nervously pulls out the little pile of credits, and she kind of, or, a tab on a calculator on something, and kind of sets it there and is like, I have a proposition. If we enter the league as our own team and we start making money from that, could we rent this space from you? And we would be the Black Orchard Bruisers. I know it's not a lot, but she kind of pushes it forward. And you would still be, you could sponsor us still, but like less as like you own us and more like, you know, a patron of the arts. But and she kind of like stumbles a little bit. She's like, the thing is I didn't, yeah, we could be more of like a partnership. I didn't really have anything that had my name on it back home. And I get that that's important to have your name on it, but I was hoping that this could be one of those things. And there'll be less stabbing, hopefully.
So you're gonna stop hunting bounties to focus on the team?
She kind of looks really like torn about it because she really does. Well, the thing is that the adventure of that gave me something to focus on, because the team didn't really feel like my team too. But yeah, to focus on this and to really put all my, and we couldn't make money, so I had to make money somewhere. But yeah, I guess I'm putting all my chips in this.
You understand that this Rocket Skate team isn't at all profitable. You're going to lose money for probably about 26 months. If you stay afloat after that, you might start to see some kind of profit. And if you've okay I mean,
Really?
if you really want it, Win, and you're not going to gallivant all over the sector hunting bounties, you can focus on it. Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. She is thrilled. I think there's a whole desk in the way. I think she's like, this means so much to me, and like absolutely grabs him in some kind of like hug across the desk. She's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
The desk kind of hovers down a little bit, and he just reaches and hits a button, and the desk just slides down into the floor, and he steps forward, and there's a moment, and he says, you realize that means I'm not your boss or anything anymore.
She's like, yeah, right? Yes. Oh, what?
So
She's
if you want to get a drink sometime or something, it wouldn't be inappropriate. I'm just saying.
And she kind of looks paused about this. She's like, yeah, actually.
But there's no pressure. You don't have to.
Oh no. I think she kind of grins and she's like, actually, no, I was thinking there's no real place to get a drink around here. So I have a few ideas about that. And like kind of like grabs his arm, like takes his arm and pulls him out and is like, so all of the other ideas I have about like, we could do a floating cantina, or Jordan has like a sister trying to get off the planet.
Awesome. And I think that's like that whole conversation is like credits start to roll as you're having this conversation and leading Larse and educating him on all the things that you've learned. And yeah, I think that's, are you happy with that? Is that you're good? Sweet. We're way over time. So if anyone needs to go. Absolutely no problems. But if anyone wants to stick around and do stars and wishes, that would be lovely. Well, stars, I guess. We don't have to worry about wishes because we're done. That was the finale. So I don't
Oh, and I give the bounty to Yuka as well.
Oh, right.
That might work.
Yuka.
I do.
You had a plan.
Yes, with the 2 bounty I have, I think there's the stinger scene where Win is retired. I think Win's been retired for a while. There's like signs all up of the Black Orchard Bruisers, still sponsored by Larce, and but then we see the bounty hunters guild building, and Yuka's walking in with her suitcase and everything, and then this like different shape comes in. Like it looks like a almost familiar silhouette, like oddly shaped on different sides, and then Voriara comes in with completely new cybernetics, ones that have been upgraded to actually be workable and not just piecemeal. And then Yuka, it's like hands in like Win's recommendation, gives her own, pays the bounty, the fee to get Voriara into the bounty, and then hands her a flower that looks like this. It is red also because of the Sith in with Yuka, and Yuka lets her know, on Earth, this was a symbol of rebirth. Welcome to your new life, partner.
Nice. What a pretty. Oh, that's really cool. Nice. And then check in with Jody. Do we have anything you want to throw in, Stephen, for Jody?
So yeah, I think that so if I'm understanding correctly, Yuka and Volare are going to be partners in bounty hunting, right? Perfect. Okay, so yeah, I think that what we see is back on Black Orchard, Jody is sitting down and she's teaching the freed droids, just like we'd seen in the last series. She's basically teaching them how to be free. And then at some point she looks up and she sees this big KX droid that's like just bruising, and he's sort of a bouncer for one of the bars in the area, and just kind of tearing into somebody, and goes, "Hey DJ, come over here." And the chest plate kind of pops open and DJ pops out from inside, and he's got that Leku attached, and that's kind of how he's attached into the KX series droid. It's like the K2SO droid pops out and comes running over, and I think that he's like, I hear that some friends of ours, Volare and Yuka, have a spot on their crew, so you might be able to help them out.
Wow. That is awesome. Yeah, good. That's great. The idea of DJ piloting a larger droid is just so wild. Okay, cool. Real quick, last bit, if anybody wants to throw out some stars before we bring this to a close, awesome. If folks need to go, feel free. That's okay. We'd like to go first for stars.
Oh man, well, that the warrior epilogue, Ferret, that's so beautiful. Like that's really, really, really wonderful. Thanks so much for doing that. Stars all around. I loved obviously, like everyone, I'm sure it's gonna say like Zop's hand and doing that, like losing a hand, and you were doing it to protect Win. I love that. And as always, like Stephen, your ideas of like, okay, we could do this, we could also do that, just great. Like the idea of like, let's drop the transponder while we're doing that, and fantastic. Stars to the NPCs, and when we were like, there is another NPC at this bar that's probably tied to our hunt. We've decided as one that we hate this one NPC so much. We've decided that they have to be obliterated, and we're going to spend all of our time doing that instead. So thanks for rolling with our bizarre choices. And super, I love Larce being awkward. I love that like the desk came down, etc. So much, so cute. I love that I think that, yeah, I think hopefully that they get really popular and bring a lot of business to Black Orchard, and they have a pretty established rocket skate arena there. Yeah, the flower arrangements, I know. That would be such a, oh my gosh, that makes me so
Could she
happy.
grow the hut centerpiece? Don't
Yeah.
ask.
Everything's
Nobody-
red. We're doing everything in red, okay? Just so you're
Yeah.
aware, everything is in red.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it was so much fun, and getting through the TIE fighters and then on the planet, and everybody, the way that you guys role play just like always gives me ideas and inspires me to like do more and throw more out there, and the way y'all connect from PC to PC is really inspiring. So I had a great time and a wonderful series, and thank you so much, Rich.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that, Danielle. That was a pleasure. Anybody else?
I can go again next for wishes. Ferret, I love Yuka. You always make incredibly interesting characters. I love Yuka's obsession. I love that you pulled the Sith holocron in there at the end, and that Yuka's making deals with the witches on Dathomir. That's dark. And I love the Win rocket skating thing. I love that it's tied in with Larcey. There was a lot of economy of NPCs from Star Wars Saturdays Past in this game. So I really enjoyed all of that. I'm so glad I have to make a new character at some point. Maybe Taz will get a Black Orchard Bruisers vest or something. Taz is the one who owns that Leiku. That was her Leiku, and she wants it back. So now that it's on Black Orchard, yeah, I'm super excited for that. And then, as always, Stephen, it was fun to play with you. Integrating at the tail end of a session is always difficult. I love Jody. I love the crew. What a ragtag group. And I love the pit droid, who is essentially a Jack Russell Terrier. It's a great way to personify a droid, and I loved it.
That was great.
Yeah.
Stephen, sorry.
Yeah, I'll go
ahead.
next.
Oh,
So basically, it is a little bit weird to come in and you see established characters. I had the good fortune of playing in the last series with Win, so I knew what Win's thing was. That was good. And it was fascinating to see Zop and Yuka and where those characters went. That was a breath of fresh air. It was so good. And thanks for being so welcoming with some of the schemes and ideas and things that I pushed during the game. It was great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I enjoyed I was so happy for Larcey to get his happy ending, and I'm much more happy that it was also Win's happy ending that helped with that. I want to know more about the Tanwa clan, and I want to give Zop a good blood opera as well one day. He deserves it. But it was nice to have that, we were both like the professionals on this thing, and like we had like completely different ideas of what, Yuka has her mission. Zop gets given missions every time, and it was a good cross. And Jody, like, immediately when it was like, oh, we're friends, like, well, yeah, of course, Yuka's, if you're nice, Yuka's friends with you. And it's like, and her entire conversation with the block doc and his pet, for lack of better words, was just so great and wonderful. And thank you, Rich. This was so fun as always.
Thank you. Thank you. I was so excited to see y'all had signed up for this game, and seeing Steven move off the wait list was a joy as well. Very much enjoyed these characters. Love seeing Zop come back in. Thank you, Greg, for pushing for me to convert over the Knight. I think it works much better than the Professional, so I've updated my working doc. Steven, your ideas with this droid crew are phenomenal. Like, this is what's great is Bounty of the Week is such a potentially like hard, almost R kind of Star Wars, but the way Jody and her crew interact, it like pulls it back, it tames it a little bit, makes it feel a lot more like an actual Star Wars, which I really, really enjoy. And then, of course, Win is the heart of the crew, and you did a great job, Danielle. That's a heavy responsibility to kind of sort of be the protagonist as the trainee, and I think you pulled that off well. And Sawyer, I've wanted to see the wronged in Bounty of the Week since I first ran it, and I finally did. And now I'm like, oh, you guys, anybody else who plays, you got such a high bar. Yuka was phenomenal. Really, really good. Love this. You guys were wonderful. Thank you so much for playing with me. And I look forward to future Star Wars Saturdays with each and every one of you. Bring the recording to a close here.